Hello, Michael. Good to see you today.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Everything is going pretty good. And today we have another doubleheader. Two great
guests.
actors, two guests,
Yeah.
two great actors.
Really very crucial members of the Sopranos ensemble. Really, their roles really stood out, both of them. Our first guest was born in Minsk, Belarus. She is an award-winning actress, has won the Green Apple Award, which is the equivalent of the Oscar in Russia for the film Serp I Molot. I don't know if I said that correctly. She also won Best Actress at the Sochi Open Film Festival, From Hell to Hell. In that movie, she's appeared in over 20 different films and TV shows, including The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, The Americans, Law and Order, The Mysteries of Laura, and most famously appeared in 7 episodes of The Sopranos. It's a really great, one of my favorite characters
Now,
in the show.
you know, I've been talking about her since we started the podcast. She is truly, I get the biggest kick out of her character.
Yeah, one of the best characters on the show. Really.
So happy that we were able to get her. Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
She played the character Svetlana Kirilenko. Please welcome the great Alla Kliouka. There she is.
There she is.
Hello, hi.
Alla,
hi, guys. I'm so happy to see you.
Happy to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. It's been a long time.
Thank you.
So let's go back. You were born in Russia, right?
I was born in Soviet Union.
Soviet Union. Did you know you always wanted to be an actor? Tell me how that started.
Yes, I always wanted to be an actor. Now, first I want to be a singer, but I was so afraid of stage to stay alone. So I decided to switch to be an actress, and it's happened. So I from the second grade, I tried to perform, and after the high school, I went from Minsk to Moscow, and I got the most prestigious theater school in Moscow.
Wow.
And what school is that? What's the name of that school?
It's a Shchepkin school.
Shchepkin. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of the academy, very academic.
Right.
Yeah.
What year did you move to New York?
I came to New York in 1990s for the first time. We have a student exchange, and I like it so much. So after I finished the theater school, I moved. So that was 1992.
And does it work?
1992.
Did it work there the same way, like getting into movies? Did you get an agent? Does it work the same process like it does in the United States? How does it work there?
No, well, in those days, because I was in an age when Soviet Union collapsed, because I started working in movies in 1988. That was my first movie, and I played the leading role. So those days, the assistant of directors came to the theater schools and theaters and performance, and they look for an actors. And she likes me so much, and she asked me to go for audition. So that was not phone calls or agencies. That was personal contact.
Gotcha.
When you came to New York, how did you start, navigating the acting world of New York City? How did that happen?
When I came to New York, I actually got married, and my English was so bad. I would say I spoke maybe 20% of English. So actually, I picked up my language from this motherland of New York.
Yeah.
And when I got more comfortable with language, I started to look for somebody who would be not afraid to represent me as an actress. Because obviously I'm supposed to be auditioned as an European or Russian or Polish or whatever, English speaking with European accent actress.
Sure.
But when
what was the first role?
Here in New York?
Yeah.
The Sopranos? Really?
That was your first part?
Wow.
But actually, the agent sent me the paper for audition, and that was saying it's Tony Soprano's girlfriend, Russian model-looking actress who can be partial naked and have like sex scenes. And I looked at it and I spoke with my agent. I said, look, I'm not a model-looking girl, so let's not waste the time. So because nobody knows what is a Sopranos because you just guys start to work on Sopranos. And then the next year, she sent me another piece of script, and she said, how about this one? And when I read the information about that she's like one-leg Russian, tough Russian lady, I said, yeah, that is me.
So the first
so I
role
actually
was
saw myself there.
so the first role was for Irina, right? The first.
She
first
sent me
one.
because there was a Russian part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I could swear the one they make you look like you have one leg. I could swear that you had one leg. I even asked Michael, does she have one leg? Because I worked with her. I don't remember.
There's that one scene when you're on the bed. Did you have your leg like inside the bed? Is that how they did that? Right.
Yes.
They cut
But
a
then
hole
when
in
you
the bed.
walk-
No, that come on! It was like 24 hours there. You should know that.
But when you were walking with the, did you have it folded up or did they ever CGI anything?
No, we did. That was like special connection between me and the person who was behind the camera. So that was kind of dance with the camera because the way the camera moved, I supposed to turn the right way or they will be picked up to the top, so they will cut off my part where they could be seeing my leg, or I just gonna walk that way. So we never did anything tricky. The thing what we did to help me move kind of more comfortable, we have like girdle, and they did like a loop, and I put my leg there and they clicked my leg so I could relax and just moved around. And one time they used just double when Jana stole my leg, and obviously I hop up on the hallway and I cross her in Russian, and that the part when I hopped, that was the double.
I was a double that had one leg.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Really? For real?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so
They
what?
picked it up.
Stunt person.
They
Wow.
that was a real person. They put my wig and my wardrobe, and she like saved
Oh,
me.
I didn't know that. That's amazing. You wore
That
a
was
wig for
so strange
Svetlana?
to see that. Yes, I did.
You did. Yeah.
And
Somehow the Americans like Russian people seeing with the blonde hair. I don't know. Like in Law and Order, I had the blonde hair. It's just something. It's something Americans just like picture the Russians with the blonde hair. Yeah.
and was that their choice that you smoke? Because you always had a cigarette hanging out of your mouth. Was
No,
that in the
I
script, or
was
was
a
that you?
bad smoker. I was a bad smoker, and I said, why not? She has nothing to lose. She has one leg. Her life is sucks. Why not? She doesn't care.
Oh, so that was you. So you were a smoker, or are you still a smoker?
No,
No, but
I
you
quit
were.
smoking in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, Alla, and I'm not lying. Though everyone knows I don't lie. When you hit the screen, and I'm not kidding you, you did such an incredible job. Your character that you built here was so good.
Thank you.
From going head to head with Janice to take care of Tony's mother. You had scenes with Carmela, Tony. Then you have the sex scene with Tony.
The affair, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Good stuff.
The thing is, that was like whole package. First of all, what I learned from my first experience to be in the American TV production, as long they don't kill you, you have opportunities to stay longer. So they didn't kill me, and I guess they like my character. So probably they wrote more stuff for me, which is great for me, and I think is great for show as well. And the first thing what I really surprised me a lot when I came to the reading. I never thought the table reading is a part of TV production. And actually, you and the Americans, only 2 TV production who had a table reading, which is so great. And when I saw
Yeah.
you guys, I was like, wow. And I wish somebody would record that because it's so much fun. Like whole crew was like sitting behind all the actors in the table, around the table, because that was so much fun. Just table reading.
Yeah, it was fun. Did you base your character on anyone specific? Like, what was your way in to play her? How did you approach that character specifically?
No, I think I have enough life experience to stay tough because my both parents my mom passed away, my dad's still alive, but they are both deaf. And to grow up in an environment, when you speak in a sign language, and then especially in a place where I grew up, and when people look at you and you are handicapped because they treating you like you are not you're like not normal, like you're already like, it doesn't matter, you have no leg or you have no way to say anything, and they feel sorry for you, or they feel like they don't want to talk to you, or they don't want to like contact with you or something like that. But it's actually give me a lot of balls to go forward and just prove that I can do what I want to do. So, and when I started in my school, I mean, like nobody believed that I will be an actress, and I said fine.
Right.
I just gonna go and try.
It's also what Tony Soprano found attractive in Svetlana, was that someone who came from a lot of hardship, who was not self-pitying, and yet was still very motivated and kind of driven, and not blaming other people and just doing something, and to the point when she found him to be kind of self-pitying and too complicated, and she kind of rocked his world a little bit. He wasn't he always thinks he could play all the angles and be in the driver's seat, and he wasn't with you, which really kind of threw him for a loop, and it was fun to watch that.
Yeah, I like my favorite line. It's when we're talking about the situation, like American people are, complaining about everything. And my favorite line, it's about, like I said, that the reason people like me to inspire people like you. So I'm using that all the time. When people say, how you do that? I said, the reason people like me to inspire people like you.
Right.
Tell me when you auditioned for David Chase. What was that like?
Yeah, audition for David Chase. First of all, I had a long audition with the
Sheila and George
casting director. Yeah, with the casting director first, and she kind of, I don't know, she probably saw me in that character right away, because she asked me to do crazy stuffs, and then she asked me to like walk like I have a like bad leg, and and she liked it so much, and she gave me the cookies. She held the cookies on the tables. This is what I remember. And after that, they called me for the audition to the Silver Cup studio.
Yeah.
And I came to Silver Cup studio, and I saw, I think, 1 or 2 Russian girls there, probably for my character. And I thought, I have nothing to lose. And when when they called me, I opened the door and I walked to the thing like this way. I said, hello, do you understand me? My name is Svetlana, or Alla Kliouka, whatever you like to call me. And I came for audition because they asked me to speak very hard Russian accent. So I don't remember how we did. They laughed so hard. And they called me back for
when you did that, you probably had the role on the spot. I bet you. When you came,
I don't know. I thought I have nothing to lose. I just came like a character. I didn't ask them to ask me how to play. I just showed them what I can do. If they need correct me, I could do whatever they will ask me to do.
Did they ask your input at all about playing a Russian? Did they have any questions, the writers? Did they say, would she do this, do that? Was there any of that, or?
No, no, that was, I don't know, because the first thing was when we came to the hospital when Irina poisoned herself, and I came and Tony came to the hospital, and no, the thing what amazed me, what is the difference between Russian TV production and American TV production, we didn't have a doubles. So I always sitting when they put in lighting, when they put, like, it's like so long you have to stay in the stage. So in America, they taking care of the actors. So they put them away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So no, we just, whatever they asked me to do, I just did that.
So that was your first scene. Was that scene in the hospital? When
Yes.
That's when we first see
Yes.
Svetlana.
Yes.
And when you got hired, did you get hired for one episode, or did they say it's one and it might come back, or did they give you a few? How did it work?
No, that was, I think it was like almost it's a 12 episodes. So that was end of the season. So
So you weren't
that
sure
was
you were
end of
coming
the
back?
season. No, absolutely. I have nothing to do with the Sopranos family. Nothing. So
Right.
it just kind of try in, and I guess I don't
worked
know
out.
what they had in mind.
Did you, now you worked with Jim, and Jim was a very, as we all know, a generous actor. How did you feel? You know, you had a scene, you know, that one scene in particular, you're on the couch. I mean, tell me about your experience with Jim.
You know, I mean, like, I don't have to tell another again and again, but maybe we should tell that he was really generous man, and he was great actor, and he was great partner. I mean, like, I felt so comfortable, even, you know, like, it's, even I got, like, Oscar equivalent in Russian and famous actors in Russia. You go to the different place, it's a different, you know, actors who is well respected in Hollywood and well respected in their own place. So it's a little bit, you never know what you can expect when you come to the scene. But I think he was the person who put everybody together. Like, he always come to people talk. He always come to, you know, it doesn't matter what you're playing, like what you're doing in a scene. He always come and ask how you feel, how you doing today, what do you think about, like, your role and stuff like. So he made people comfortable, and people wants to pay back, obviously. So and you know, and the sex scene when the. So this is the two scenes when actually we had a place where I hide my leg in a hole. The one is when Jana stole my leg. It was a bed, but bed has a mattress. So when they made a hole, that was a comfortable cushion for my leg to put inside the hole. But in the couch, they had like the wood, and they had a hole, and we tried to play, and I kind of tried to stay comfortable because you never know, because I mean, like, obviously, you know, James is a big guy, and when he pull you down, and I feel like I hurt my leg against the edge of the hole, and he said, "Can I see how you sitting, how you sitting there?" And when he saw that, like, plain wood, he said, "Well, let's ask somebody to put something nice and soft around the hole, so you would." I said, "No, don't do that. We can do that." He said, "The thing is, I don't want you to think about that. I want you to think about me. I want you to think about, like, you know, like, whole thing, but I don't want your mind go away from how it's comfortable or not comfortable." So, and the guys did that in like half a minute, and he said, "See, now we can play." So, and we did play.
He
but
was always concerned about everybody, you know, concerned about other people having a good experience. Yes.
That is funny, because when I came for reading for that episode, nobody know, because, as you know, in the reading, we first time opening the scripts and we're reading what's going on. And they said, "Oh, you know, you're going to have a sex with Tony Soprano." I said, how? The first thing what I asked is, how? But I guess that people thought, how we're gonna do that?
And did you work with? I don't think you worked with Nancy. Did you actually work with her, Nancy Marchand?
No, I saw Nancy. I was so lucky. I saw her live on a table reading for my first episode. I knew who she is, and I think she was sitting like almost up, like across me in the table, and but when they called me back for the funeral, I mean, like it's not a funeral; they reproduct her on before she passed away.
Yeah.
So and so I worked with the mystery lady, but not with an actress.
Not with her.
That's when Janice threatened she wanted the record collection back. Remember at the
But
gravesite?
this is but this is the second, because before I work with the mystery lady as Tony's mom, but that was a different actress playing there. They did some editing.
That's when they did.
Do you have family? Do you still have family in Belarus?
In Minsk?
Or
Yes,
Russia?
I have my dad and my sisters. Yeah.
And the show is big over there, right? In Eastern Europe and stuff. I think a lot of people watch The Sopranos. No.
Maybe in a cable, but not in the regular Russian TV. I never saw that in like Russian TV programs or anything.
So do you go and visit there sometimes?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's in fact when I played the scene in the third season when I taking care of Tony's mom and the funeral, they actually called me from Russia because I lived in Russia for a while because I made a TV show there, and they called me and I came, and the scenes with when Janice stole my leg, I was like really bad jet lag. They told the guys just keep the coffee near me because I can fall asleep.
Do you have the leg by any chance? Did you get to keep the leg?
Oh no! No.
Listen, Alla, thank you so much. Thank you for doing this. It was a real pleasure, really. I'm telling you the truth. You're one of my favorite characters on the whole show. Really.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
did
so
a
much.
wonderful job, and thanks for coming on today. It was great to see you
and
again.
Be well, okay?
Thank you so much, and stay healthy.
See you.
Good to see
Bye.
you.
All right. Take care, dear.
Fantastic. I'm so happy we got to talk to her.
Alla Kliouka,
Really,
who played
really
Svetlana. Yeah.
pleasant girl.
She's a great actress.
Really happy to talk to her, man. You know. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I enjoyed talking to Alla. Did you? I think you did also.
Yeah, she's a great lady, and you know, we've said it a lot. She brought a lot to the series.
Oh yeah,
she really did.
And now we got another great guest. We just keep on the shows we put out. It amazes me. Great guest after great guest after great guest. Me and you are the weak part of this whole fucking thing. You know that?
I guess so. I mean, we are getting good. You know, it's just a comprehensive look at the show. You know what I mean? It's it's not going to get more insider than this.
Exactly. We've got this guy was born in Brooklyn. I want to say Coney Island, I believe. I mean, he'll give us the full details. He's appeared in over 40 movies and TV shows. He was just in The Irishman, a great scene with not a guy that I'm a fan of, but De Niro. A great scene. The Sinner, American Gangster with Denzel. Ray Donovan. He was in Vinyl, Blue Bloods, Rescue Me, commercials, a bunch of stage stuff. He appeared in 24 episodes of The Sopranos. Please welcome, you know him as Eugene Pontecorvo, our dear friend Bobby Funaro. Yeah, Bobby.
Hello. Hey, how you
Good
doing,
to see you,
guys?
pal.
Hey, Steve. Hi, Michael.
It's been quite a while. Good
What's
to
up,
see
buddy?
you, man. You hanging
With
in
that kind
there?
of intro, I got nothing to worry about.
There you go.
There you go.
So, Bobby, where were you? Were born in Brooklyn? Were you born in Coney Island?
Yes, I was. Coney Island Hospital, 1959.
Uh-huh. And
You know,
so, how do you go? How do you go from Coney Island? How'd you start acting? How'd you get into that whole thing, the whole world? Take me from the beginning.
well, my uncle was a priest, Father Joe. You met him.
Yes, yes.
Monsignor Funaro. He ended up as a Monsignor. God rest his soul. Monsignor raised funds for Catholic charities. Well, actually, for a parish. I think Our Lady of Grace or something. He started this thing called the Gratian Players. So he was a director, and I got the bug from him, going to see his shows every year.
And you were young.
What was yeah, you started as a kid, or were you already an
Yeah,
adult?
well,
when
I
you
mean,
started?
I never really act. I never really, as a kid, since I was like 7 years old, we'd go into his show, 7, 8, 9, 10. He would put one on every year to raise money for a small church, and of course, then for the Brooklyn Catholic Charities. He wound up in Our Lady of Assumption Church in Brooklyn Heights, a beautiful church in Brooklyn Heights. And he had stopped producing, but from a very early age, I went to these musicals, and then I finally said I was going to do one of his musicals because I liked this chick in it, and she dropped out, and so did I. And he was disappointed, but I never really was a musical dancer kind of a thing. Although I did study dance with Fred Kelly at Pace University for 1 year.
Well,
Gene's brother. He was a really nice guy.
you also had a dance in the episode where Furio dances with Carmela. You were dancing at Furio's house.
Oh yeah.
Furio's house.
That was a challenge,
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask was, how did you move into the professional world? Like, what did you study acting in the city, or did you start auditioning, or how did that work?
Yeah, I studied acting. I went to 1 year of college at Pace University. Well, actually, yeah, it was 1 year, but I did a half a semester of accounting, and I hated it. And I spoke to my mom. We sat down. I said, "Listen, I hate this. This is not for me." And she said, "Why don't you do what you want to do?" I said, "What would you want to do?" She asked me. I said, "Well, I think I'd like to get into drama. They have a drama program there." And that's how I joined that drama program. And I did a half a year there, but I didn't continue with that. I met someone, and my life changed a little bit when it came to acting. I still had still dabbled in it a little bit. And then after this major relationship I had for 4 or 5 years, I went back home to my parents' house, and I told my dad I really want to seriously study. So if you want to seriously study, you have to go to New York, and you have to study with some of the best people they have. So I went to HB Studios, and I worked with Herbert Berghoff, Earl Hyman, a lot of the great instructors there. But the thing is, I did a play at Fairleigh Dickinson College as an understudy with Paul Savino. Forgot the name of the show. Anyway, I did this play, and he made us do a few performances of it, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So after that experience, I said, well, I really got to learn with someone that I can apply what I've learned. And a friend of mine from the drama bookstore, you might know him, Michael, David Seminin. Maybe Steve knows him. He might have been over there too. David was a career lifer at the drama bookstore. He suggested this instructor, Bobby Lewis, from the group theater. So I studied with Bobby. And after Bobby, that's when I landed my first professional job with James in A Streetcar Named Desire. That was my first really professional job.
And where was
we toured
that,
Scandinavia.
Scandinavia.
That's
where you met Jim?
Yeah.
That's where you met Jim?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what did you play? What roles did you guys do in the Streetcar?
I played Stanley, and Jim played Mitch.
And
I never forget
Jim
when
went
I
on
first
to
met
do
him.
Mitch on Broadway, right? He did Mitch with Alec
Yes.
Baldwin on Broadway as well.
Yes,
The same part.
yes, he did get the opportunity to do it.
You did this. You got the job, and it was to go on tour to Europe to do it. That was the deal.
Yeah, this producer, he produced Cuckoo's Nest prior to the year. I think it was 87 or 88. He produced, or 87, I think it was. He produced Cuckoo's Nest, and then the following year he was going to do Streetcar Named Desire. So it was really the first professional job we booked. We were going to get paid in Deutschmarks. We got paid good money. and we were going to tour Scandinavia. We started in Sweden. They had some really great theaters there. And then we went to Finland and then Norway. Finland and Norway were kind of rough, but Sweden, they had some really great theaters. And James was, and I forget the first time I met him, it was the summer and we were going for rehearsals. And there's this guy, it was 42nd Street where the Lion Theater is, you know, Theater Row.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a guy hanging out in the doorway and he's sweating. It's like, he just stood out. You know, I said hello to him because I knew that he was going to be in the show. And from there, we just became great friends, you know, and it was a great tour. And James was very good in it. And, you know, he kind of laddered up. As we progressed, he got better and better and better and better, you know.
Were there any other actors in that production that we would know? Or
no,
who went on
just
to
me and
work?
James.
Just you two, really? Yeah.
Yeah, just us two, yes.
So then, Bobby, you get back here. Do you continue the acting? I mean, or you went, I know you wind up getting married, right? Or you had kids or whatever. So then you were working a regular job. Am I right? I think you told me the story. And then Jim came to see you when they were getting ready to cast. Tell me that.
Yeah, season 3. When I got back from doing Streetcar, I met this Norwegian woman and we had a relationship and got married. Jim thought I was crazy.
You met her over there?
You met her over there?
I met her over there.
Boy.
I went out one night to a discotheque and alone, and there was like 5 people in this discotheque. It was like Lillehammer. It's like Lillehammer. They had the dance floor with like the Staying Alive dance floor. I mean, it was really laid out really well, you know. So I met her. We had this relationship. We had a child and everything like that. But in the interim, I worked at the Garden. I lost that job. And then my friend, he said, why don't you come over to Caroline's on Broadway? They're looking for a doorman. So I started as a doorman 6 years, as a matter of fact.
Caroline's Comedy Club.
Yeah, Caroline's Comedy Club on Broadway. And I wound up a manager my last year, and that's the year that James came down. It was just a regular September day. I came into Works managing. I walked downstairs because Caroline's, you got to descend. I know you know it, Steve. You got to descend to the bottom. It's like
I've been there.
It's like you've been there, Michael, too. Yeah, about 3 stories or whatever it is. And James is hanging out at the bar. And I see him and he sees me. And I may have seen him one or 2 times at Rudy's because we used to hang out in Hell's Kitchen, you know. And we said hello and everything. And he had done True Romance and I, you know, congratulated him and stuff like that. But we really never kept in touch. But there was something about him. I knew that he was really good, you know. And anyway, so he was down there at the bar hanging out having a drink. I said, James, what are you doing? He said, I'm having a drink, but I got to ask you a question. I said, what? Do you want to audition for The Sopranos? And I said, holy shit, really? And he said, yes. So the rest is history. I mean, he has said to me
the show was already on the air? You knew the show? It was on the air at that time?
Yeah,
was the show on the air already? It was.
It was on 2 years. This is the 3rd season where I came in. And he asked me if I'd been acting. And I was in and out doing it. Never really professionally on a professional basis. I mean, I did some extra work. Actually, I didn't like it. So I stopped doing that. But I would audition from time to time. Some people would ask me to audition, but never really. Sopranos was my really first professional job. So he asked me if I'd been acting. So of course I lied. I said, "Yeah, sure, I've been acting." You kidding me? What am I going to say? I haven't been.
Good answer.
So yeah, so that's how it happened. And of course, Georgianne Walken, she was right across the street. She was on because it was 1600 Broadway. Her office was right down the block across from the Brill Building. So I took the audition, and I remember getting the sides, and I just stayed because I had the keys to the place. I just stayed all night, or did an all-nighter before the audition. I mean, I had some time, but I still pulled an all-nighter. You know, I locked the doors. Didn't have any alarms back then, just locked the doors, and I went to the audition. So that's how it happened for me, you know.
And so
in a New York minute.
But Jim remembered you. So obviously there was something he liked about you. He remembers you. He comes back. How many years is it? It's quite a while. It's got to be 10 years or more.
Yeah, it's about 8-9 years since he came back, because it was like, I mean, it was 2000 when I got on the show. So yeah, about 10 years. I mean, I was told. See, the thing is, a friend of mine at a party went up to him. My friend Gordy Silva, he's an actor too. He went up to him and said, if I was you, I would try to get my friend Bobby Funaro a job on Sopranos, because Gordon's got a really big set of cojones, you know. So James said, "What do you mean, Bobby Funaro? Bobby Funaro? Yeah, you know him. You did the tour on in Scandinavia. Oh, how's Bobby doing? What's he doing? Oh, he's working on Caroline's on Broadway. Now, Gordon was a Caroline's on Broadway comedy club, and Gordon was a bartender he was a back bartender, and so he told me where I was working. So I guess the part came up, and James remembered, and I was told that Joe Fay was telling me that they went to a few. He couldn't remember the comedy club, so Joe Fay, of course, his driver, great guy. You guys love him. And he went around to a few comedy clubs to find me, and he finally found the right one,
And so you get the role. You're a series regular. It's season 3.
Yes.
Eugene Pontecorvo. You make it up until what season? They killed you in the first episode
2006, yeah. 2006.
So you make it a long way. You make it a long way. You're in Ralphie's crew. So you work with Joey Pants a lot. You work with Joe Ganascoli a lot, right?
Yes.
You had some good stuff because we're watching them now. And I kind of, I forgot everything, to be honest. And there's some really good stuff there. And you work with Joey. What was that like, working with Joey Pants?
To tell you the truth, it was really like an apprenticeship, but it was the greatest apprenticeship an actor could ever have. I mean,
sure.
I laddered up kind of in a way. I mean, the thing was I was around and it got better and better. Of course, Little Carmine with the Snapple bottle, that was fun. But when Members Only came around, of course, I read that script and I said, well, this is a really great script. It allows me the opportunity to open up a bit and show the human side of myself. And I really identified with Eugene in his plight to try to get out. So, I mean, that was a really great ending for myself. Because before then, it was just the guy who hit the guy in the head with the Snapple bottle or did something else. Well,
but you were around. You were around a lot, know.
Yeah, sure.
Bobby, how did David call you? Did you get that call, or did he tell you at the read-through? How'd you find out you were getting killed?
I got the call. Well, first, I started hearing rumors. Hey, Bobby, do you know that you're getting a wife on the show? Because someone was telling me she was auditioning for your wife. Hey, Bobby, you know you're getting a son? Hey, this is freaking great. I got a wife, I got a son. What's happening over here? This is fantastic. And in the back of my mind, I said, well, we'll see what happens. So sometime before the show began, David gave me the call. And he said, I got great news for you, and I got bad news. What do you want first? I said, give me the good news. He said, we wrote a first episode, season 6. It's called Members Only. It's a great show. It's going to show what you can do. Your character, wants to get out, and all of a sudden he can't get out, and he kills himself. So you're dead. So I said, oh, all right. So, that was the bad news. The great news was that, it was going to be a great episode for me. The bad news was that I was dead, and that was that.
I would have asked for the bad news
David's
first.
Like a gnome.
I would have asked for the bad news first. I would have said, give me the bad news.
But those scenes, that kind of situation makes things very memorable, makes the people, it's the death scene that often sticks in people's minds for a lot of characters. But when you got cast, they didn't say we want you for the next 3 seasons or the next 10 episodes. It was just, as you went along, kind of episode by episode. Was that it? They call you when they need you.
What happened, Michael? I'll be honest with you. I don't mind sharing the story. I auditioned for Ralph Cifaretto, and I signed the contract. I did everything, and then when I got to set, it didn't seem like the chemistry was working out for me and James. I mean, they were dyeing my hair white and everything, and David wasn't too happy with everything. So, I did my best to keep going with it, but David didn't think it was the right fit, and James was telling me the same thing. David came up to me and he said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to stay on the show, of course, James also. So they came up with the character Eugene Pontecorvo. Now that was hard to, that was really tough to live with as an actor, and I hadn't been doing it for quite some time, but I had the humility, to say, okay, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on keeping on regardless of who knows, who doesn't know. It didn't matter to me. And I'm happy to share the story because I think it's a a good example for, not quitting. And look how I ended up. I ended up with a really great episode, and I met a great bunch of friends and everything. And that's how it really happened for me.
Hey, let me tell you
So
something.
they created the role. They created Eugene for you.
So I asked Terry. Yeah, they created Eugene. I asked him who was Eugene. He said we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. And as well as I, as you went along, we went to the racetrack, the Breeders' Cup. There was the Breeders' Cup. We were playing basketball in front of the basketball in front of the place. The writers were very astute in the sense of hanging out with us, and coming up with ideas.
Bobby, did you have to audition for Eugene?
No. I was just given.
They just gave it. Let me tell you something, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You got giant fucking balls because somebody else, you were down on the fucking mat after that, and you got up and you built a nice career for yourself. And another guy would have fucking put his tail between his legs. He would have went home and fucking cried, poor me, what could have been. So good for fucking you is right. I mean,
Thank you, Steve.
I mean, honestly, and I'm not just saying that. That's big fucking balls. That was a blow.
Yes.
But a similar thing happened with Steven Van Zandt, because he was the finalist for Tony Soprano was Michael Rispoli, who played Jackie Aprile. They flew me out to LA for the test, right? I auditioned for David in New York. Then I get the call. They want to fly you to LA to audition for HBO. In the waiting room was Edie, who was testing for Carmela, me testing for Christopher, Lorraine for Melfi, and then 3 guys for Tony. It was Rispoli, who I was good friends with, who went on to play Jackie. Jim, who I'd seen him in a play. I didn't know him yet. And some guy that I thought I recognized, but I couldn't place it. And Sheila Jaffe said, that's little Steven Van Zandt, because he had the Silvio wig. And he was, kind of close to being Tony. They realized that Jim was the guy, but then there was no Silvio Dante in the script. David wanted, he wanted it in, he wasn't right for Tony, but he wanted him at part of the show. So I think Steven had this Silvio Dante character. I think he was writing some screenplay or some kind of thing. And then David said, oh, that's a great idea. And they made him the owner of the strip club. That's how that happened. So it's kind of very similar,
cool. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I owe that to, a lot to that to my family, who supported me, because they knew what happened. And my father, God rest his soul, this is his birthday today on the 13th. So it's kind of appropriate, Anyway, so he supported me. I mean, my family really supported me, kept telling me, keep going. And it was a great experience. You know what I mean?
And so then from there, you move on. You've continued to act. You do a lot of stage stuff. That seems to be your first love. Am I wrong about that? Because you love,
no, you're right.
You love the stage stuff.
I love the stage. I like the stage. I mean, it's just that one-on-one, that live performance. You get to feel the vibrations from the audience and everything. It kind of feeds you. And a lot of actors, I mean, really do like it. In film is this like disconnect in a way. But up until Members Only, I really couldn't feel that sense like I felt on the stage, that I had like this through line. So that's why Members Only was really great, because I really enjoyed acting in it because of that through line. I knew kind of where I was going. It just wasn't like the staccato kind of scenes. And they were great scenes too, but to have that storyline, really, I jumped on it, you know what I mean, and really tried to write it as best I can. But that's the reason why I do like theater, because it has this through line, a one-on-one. Even if you're playing a small part, in the end, you all come together. You take a bow.
Yeah, whereas doing the whole story every night.
Yeah, and of course, in film, you get that rush when you're doing it, but me watching myself, I don't get that same rush, I mean, I don't know.
No.
I don't know if you do. You don't get that same rush.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, it's very different. And I was saying, theater, you do the whole story every night from beginning to end, the whole 2 hours or whatever, however long the play is. And there's something very satisfying about that, instead of just doing a bit. I mean, everything also depends on the material and who you're working with. Every experience is different. People say, do you like this or that? And every job is different,
Yes,
but
I agree. I agree.
yeah.
Sure.
You also
So
teach acting as well, right? Is that true? That's what I heard.
I was doing that in more of a directorial kind of way, because I don't really think it could really. It's just so tough. The tough thing about that was, and I kind of stopped doing it, was that to get somebody to really work with you for a year or so. I mean, I guess that's why Sandy Meisner, a lot of the great instructors, even Bobby Lewis, you would sign on for 6 months, or you sign on for a year, 2 years with the neighborhood playhouse, which I never went to, but I do respect it, because at least you as a teacher or a director, you can get to see the progression of a person's,
Right.
you know what I mean, a talent come to fruition. But with that, it was like people come for 1 month, then leave, come back and leave. And it was just like, it was kind of like toxic in a way, because I really couldn't benefit from helping. I mean, there were a few actors that I did train that went on to more of a training capacity. That's where I found myself. And they went on to do a few things. Rich Pesci, who probably did a few films,
what about Sirico? Did you work with Sirico much? Did you got any good Tony stories? We have a ton of them. We've told a bunch. We're running out of them. You got any?
Tony, I can't think of any really. Nothing that strikes me. I probably, when I get off this conversation, I'll think of 10. But I mean, he was just really a great character, a great person to work with. The Wounded War veterans, in Brooklyn, doing benefits with him, did a benefit with him for that and everything. And I mean, I kind of kept out of Tony's way.
So, we had David on, and he told us when
Right.
Al Sapienza died, Mike Parmisi, he got the call he was going to get killed, and Tony walked into the read-through like a Tommy gun. He went, so I didn't know if he gave you the hang sign,
Yeah.
No, actually, I think he said he said that this is good. This is good. I mean, you're going out this way, but you're going out it's going to be good. People are going to remember you, for it. Give you a pat on the back, So
They do. They do remember you from that. It's very distinctive and memorable. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And Bobby, when they did the hanging scene, how did they do that? I have no idea. Tell me.
Well, Pete Picosi, our chief stunt coordinator. Pete, I remember us doing a scene. It might have been the scene when Tony comes back from jail, whatever. We were all in the Bada Bing, and we had to shoot that scene. And they had a big circular curtain they put in a parking lot. And Pete wanted to rehearse the hanging scene. He wanted to get the right brace and everything. So we started, people crowding around saying, "What's going on?" Of course, you don't tell them what's going on and everything, just saying, "This is a rehearsal," or whatever. So, Pete had fitted me with some harnesses, and I guess they didn't really work, but he kind of knew what he needed to do. And I think he sent away to California for this one particular harness, and he got the right one, of course.
And you had it under your clothes?
We did. Yeah, I had it on my clothes. It fit my body, and I felt very confident in it. It was brand new. I felt very confident in it, and Pete made you feel confident about it. He was a great stunt guy, and still is. And we rehearsed it, that one day at the Bada Bing, and of course, then on set we rehearsed it. And of course, Tim Van Patten and everything. We worked together, and it was a very interesting, airy kind of scene to be up there at the moment and to stay in it, and as an actor and everything. It was.
You feel bad. You feel bad for Eugene. Here he is. He's trying to get out. Wants to go to Florida with his wife. They're happy. Look, we're going to do this. You're getting this close. Yeah. And Tony, which it's all about fucking money with these guys. We've said it 1,000 times. It's only about money. And you feel bad. You really have compassion for Eugene. You did a great job there, man.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Couldn't thank you enough, Bobby. You take care. I'll see you soon.
Okay, brothers.
You be well,
Thank you, Steve, for the opportunity.
Thank you very,
Michael,
very much.
You too. Hope to see you out in New York when you come out.
Yeah, buddy. Okay? You take care of yourself, Bobby.
Ciao,
Stay in touch. All right.
Steve. Thanks for the opportunity.
Great
Bobby
guy.
Funaro,
Thank you.
Great guy, great
Eugene
actor.
Pontecorvo.
Good guy, man. Good
Sir,
fucking guy. Let's take a break.
We'll be right back.
Well, I want to congratulate you on one night in Miami. You guys got nominated for a SAG Award for Best Ensemble.
We did, yeah.
This is great. You're
Yeah.
back in action. This is
Back in action.
if there's an award show, you'll be there, and that'll be fun. I mean,
If they have it, I don't know what they're doing with awards. If they do have it, we'll fly out, my wife and I, and there's 10 of us in the ensemble that got nominated. I have a small part, but it's important scenes, and it was fun. I mean, it's important scenes in the movie. But it was a good experience. Certainly, Regina King was the director, and she was wonderful. I worked a lot with a guy named Eli Gorey, who plays Muhammad Ali in the movie, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, it's cool, man. I'm very proud of it.
This is great. I mean, this is
Yeah.
this is good stuff. Really good stuff.
Are we going to get nominated for a potty? Is that what they call it? What do
I
they call
don't
the
know.
podcast?
Yeah, a fucking party. Yeah, fucking party.
The potty? We're
I
getting
don't know.
nominated for best TV series, podcast. I don't know. Best
Listen, they're not
entertainment.
gonna give us no fucking. They're not
No?
gonna give us no respect. No, even though we.
Why is that?
Because a lot of people don't like The Sopranos, especially still there's still somewhat of a stigma, and I don't believe that the show is not so politically correct for our days. The fans are the fans, and they love it, and it's a masterpiece. But I don't believe our podcast is going to get that. But we do have a lot more listeners and viewers than we ever imagined. And that's all we really care about.
We have a lot more than most podcasts. I'll tell you that.
Somebody was asking me, during the award shows, SAG Awards and even the Golden Globes and the Emmys, no longer is network TV that popular.
It's actually the opposite now.
Yeah.
Network, I think in the SAG Awards, this TV section and the Golden Globes, most of the nominations were for streaming and cable. Network got very few nominations. I mean, maybe one, I think.
Now, it's being on a cable show, which I've been on, and being on a network show, financially, it is. Look, we were on The Sopranos. I was on Secret Life of the American Teenager, and then you're on a network show like Blue Bloods. The residuals are better. It's just two completely different things. Cable TV, they make their money by streaming. A lot of it, they're paid
Subscription,
as opposed to network TV, which is TV ads. Right. So it's two different business models. If you're on HBO, there's no commercials, but our residuals are not what they are on network TV. So it's two completely things. I think material-wise, it's just as good. I think
cable's a lot better than network TV. Cable and streaming, they take a lot more chances. It's a lot more, I find most of network TV is still pretty, it's pretty, they stay within their boundaries. They don't take a lot of chances.
Well, they can't. They
not
can't.
Groundbreaking.
No, well, they're limited.
It appeals to a bigger audience. They try to appeal to a bigger audience,
They're also limited with language and sex stuff, but also I think there's a lot of cable stuff that isn't very good. Also.
Yeah.
That's
true.
There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of stuff you look at, and you just go, another, sometimes they're shocking for the value of shocking. They're cursing. There's a lot of sex just for the, do you know what I mean? I watch both. I watch network shows and I watch cable shows,
No, I don't watch much network shows. Very, very, hardly any.
I'm not a big sitcom guy. I like the older sitcoms.
Me too. I like
I've
old sitcoms.
Yeah, I've yet to, I've yet to any new ones. I'm not saying they're not good. They're just not for me. I'm also older, but I mean, I like The Odd Couple, and I like Seinfeld, and I like King of
All in the
Queens,
Family.
and All in the Family, and so many
I've never
great
seen
ones.
King of Queens.
Oh,
Ever.
it's a
I've
great
never
show.
watched that show.
It really is a really funny show, and there's so many. Uh, Single camera comedies. I like those too. This Ted Lasso on Apple TV I've been watching that got nominated. It's very good, different, but yeah, it's just two different. It really is apples and oranges. You can't really even
Yeah.
compare, because
Yeah,
it is for a wider audience, network TV,
sure.
And money wise, cable pays the actors as much, if not more.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. You do more episodes on network, but depending on what you're getting paid per episode, you could make just as much. But
And a lot of younger people now, because cable's so expensive, they just have the streaming. They don't even bother
they
with TV
they have
anymore,
like a little Apple TV or something like that. Yeah,
So
interesting.
that's my 2 cents. What the fuck do I know? Here we go.
Season 4, episode 10. This is the 49th episode of The Sopranos. This first aired on November 17th, 2002, called The Strong Silent Type, which is kind of what I think of you as. Strong silent type, kind of man of few words, speaks softly, carry a big stick, never complains, stoic, right?
That's me. That's me in a nutshell. Let me ask you something before we get started. Now, we've done, is this our 49th or 50th?
This is our 50th.
50th. Do you think we're going to make it? Are we going to make it? I hope I live to be to finish this podcast. I'm hoping.
Oh, I think we're going to make it. Are you kidding me?
Think
we're more than halfway done. I mean, we only have like 30 left, 35 left, I think.
It's going to be a sad day.
36.
I'm going to be a sad day when I don't sit across from you like this.
It's going to be tragic.
It's going to be terrible. I don't know what I'm going to do. I hope I live to be this, and if not, you know what happens.
Oh, I know what happens. Yeah,
I
know in detail what happens.
People are waiting anxiously for the Steve motherfuckers.
They're waiting anxiously. I already sold some advance tickets. I'm selling tickets to that because you're not going to be there. So what do you care? But I'm selling tickets, I already got a big advance sale for that. Just so you know, that's how much you're loved. You are loved, my friend.
I think people want to see who annoys the shit out of me, and the list is growing, growing and growing.
Not like they don't know already. They know a lot of the people.
I haven't been shy, but there's a few. I'm going to pull a few rabbits out of my fucking hat, and you're going to be stunned.
I'm going to be stunned.
You're going to be stunned.
And there's people I know you haven't mentioned because of certain reasons, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I think it's going to be. I think fun will be had by all.
Well, when are you going to film this thing, or did you already film it and we don't know?
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
It's not all.
I want to ask you if you think this title, does it refer to Svetlana? Does it refer to Christopher, Paulie, Tony? Those are some of the main characters in this episode. Trying to be a good soldier. The cowboy, the soldier, Gary Cooper. Furio. I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe a little bit of everything. I do. Svetlana is certainly. She's strong mentally.
Yeah,
and she doesn't say much, but when she does speak, the words speak volumes.
And he admires her for her strength. She does, she's just, she has a disability, yet she doesn't,
Hey, listen, he's saying, I'm surprised.
That doesn't hold her back from doing anything. She's, she's an immigrant, and yet she's, got her own business. She's making her own website. He has a lot of respect for that, kind of self-motivated, person who's not complaining, not bemoaning their misfortune and stuff like that. He likes that.
When he mentions to her, you're able to do all this stuff, and he's referring to her being handicapped or not, having one leg. It takes her a while to even realize what he's talking about.
Right.
She's one of my, listen, and I'm not joking. She is one of my favorite characters. She wasn't in all that much. One of my favorite characters on the show. I mean,
she does a really good job.
She does a great job. I mean, great job.
I love her. Yeah.
Great talking to her and does a great job. So it was written by Terry Winter, Robin Green, Mitchell Burgess. Story by David Chase. Directed by Alan Taylor. This is his second one. We start out. Famous scene. There's a few famous scenes in this one. This being Christopher sitting on the dog, and then probably the funniest scene in the entire series, the intervention.
One of my favorites, yeah.
Christopher.
And I love that it opens with Christopher watching our gang, the Little Rascals, which is just, it's like the middle of the day. The morning, he's getting high, watching the little. I mean, I used to watch that a lot when I was. I don't know if you.
Sure,
did.
Me too. Yeah,
that was big when I was a kid. I was a big fan of that show. Patsy Parisi refers to Christopher as Alfalfa in one of the episodes. I don't know if this is the connection, but Alfalfa, his name was Carl Schweitzer. When he was 6, his brother was 8, and his family did a studio tour. I think it was MGM or something like that. And in the cafeteria, they started doing a little routine, him and his brother. He was 6 years old, and Hal Roach, who created the show, saw it and hired them, both of them. And Alfalfa became a big star. His brother's name was Harold. They called him Slim or Deadpan, but he didn't really...
But after the Little Rascals, you didn't see much of Alfalfa. He had a rough life.
He was in It's a Wonderful Life. He played the kid who, gets Jimmy Stewart cuts in on him on the dance, and then he opens the floor when they go into the water. But apparently Alfalfa was very difficult on the set of Little Rascals. He was kind of a annoying. He would play practical jokes on people. He was mean. He also he was in the 10 Commandments. He was a slave.
Really?
In the 10 Commandments. Yeah. His last film role was 1958, the Defiant Ones. That was his last
He was difficult.
film role. He was shot in the groin in an argument over missing dog's reward money. At 31, he was killed. And on his grave is a symbol of the Freemasons. Now, I want to know what you think about that.
What's it? I don't even know what the Freemasons are.
He was a Freemason.
What is a
Wow,
Freemason?
the Freemasons. You don't know what the Freemasons are?
I really don't.
They're a secret society. They run everything. What do you mean, the Freemasons?
I don't even know what the fuck language you're talking.
The symbol on the dollar bill on the pyramid with the eye, that was the Freemasons.
Oh, okay.
They started America, and now they run everything. They're in government. They're in, the military. They're in
is that a good thing
the
or a
medical
bad
field. I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. But Alfalfa was a Freemason.
I don't know. I know absolutely nothing about this. I do know that he was difficult, played practical jokes. He was nasty. He sounds like the Michael Imperioli of the Little Rascals.
I've never played practical jokes.
That's what he sounds like. They had many versions of the Little Rascals, right? They had Our Gang, then the Little Rascals.
Robert Blake.
That's right. But you had, of course, Spanky was in a lot of them, right? You had Stymie, you had Farina, you had Buckwheat, you had Dollar, you had Froggy, Butch. You had different versions of them.
Chubsy Wubsy.
Correct. And they were great. And they used to play as shorts and kind of a younger version of the Bowery Boys.
Yeah.
Right? A younger version.
I thought you were going to say a younger version of the Sopranos.
No, Terry Winter was a big Little Rascal fan, as he was a Honeymooner fan, and the He-Men Woman Haters Club. Remember that?
The He-Man, that was
Woman
it.
Haters Club.
Yeah.
They're watching. It's called Bear Shooters. Christopher is shooting heroin. He's whacked out. He's watching the show, which is kind of funny because he keeps looking over at it. He's tied up, and then he sits on Cosette. He doesn't notice that he sits on her.
He doesn't notice, and I get a lot of complaints about it. People are really, animal lovers are really offended by that. They don't mind that I killed however many, human beings on that show, but sitting on that dog does not sit well, pardon the pun, with a lot of people.
And the dog was what, was it a stuffed animal? What was it, a stuffed thing?
No animals were hurt during the shooting of The Sopranos, okay?
And what did they do with the tongue?
The tongue was made, I remember Anthony, the prop guy, was making the tongue out of prosciutto. Because when you find the animal dead, when Cosette is dead, you see the tongue hanging out, and they made it out of prosciutto. There was prosciutto on the set. They made the tongue. Yeah, it was a stuffed animal. The real Cosette and I got along very well. We never had a problem together.
But you're not a dog person.
I love dogs. I'm just allergic. But Cosette and I, we had a connection. I'll say, a strong connection. We bonded a lot. We spent a lot of time, in our personal lives together. Outside of work, we had a lot of quality time. We hung out a lot.
Do you think Cosette was a Buddhist?
No, definitely not.
Or do you think she came back to somebody? Who was she in a previous life, you think, Cosette?
I think Cosette's still alive. The actor who played Cosette is alive. I don't think she's dead.
What are you talking about? It's 20 years ago. How long you think a dog lives? No, that's bullshit. The dog years. That's all bullshit. It's 20 solid years.
I don't know about
Cosette's
that.
not alive. If you're out there, if you're listening, please contact us here at Talking Sopranos.
We should do an animal episode. We'll have Pie-Mai, Goldie. We'll have Cosette. We'll have the cat that's watching Christopher's.
The cat's got to be dead. They're all dead. Well, the cat might be alive, but the rest of them are dead.
Pie-Mai's alive.
Yeah. If you're out there,
Pie-Mai does personal appearances.
I know.
You can hire Pie-Mai to come to your
birthday party, your kid's birthday party. Cosette, if you're out there, please contact us, TalkingSopranosPR.com. We'd love to hear from you. Christopher, what's funny is he falls asleep, but he's kind of half nodding and watching this episode. It's quite amazing. Soprano house, Carmela opens the door. She primps. She's got a new hairdo. She primps. She checks her teeth in the mirror. Opens up the door. It's Benny. Not happy that it's Benny. Doesn't offer him coffee. Happy. Doesn't offer him anything. No, come in. She just lets him in. He sits there. And
I like that haircut on her. She looks good with that.
She looks great. And what's amazing is something you never do. Tony, once again, a terrible move. He says, weren't you going to talk to me first about your hair? It's very obvious that he doesn't like it. And you just don't do that, man. You just don't.
Don't
do that. I did it to a girl years ago. Remember perms, which is the worst fucking thing ever. She got a perm, and I said, listen, I was, this was in the 70s. I went, what the fuck did you do to your hair? I mean, she looked so fucking bad. So bad. It was like, what are you even thinking about? And that was a terrible move.
No, you can't do that.
You can't do that. It was something you learn in life. You don't do that. And Tony should have never done this. He made it very obvious he didn't like it. And she's very disappointed when Benny comes in.
And she's very cold to Tony. There's a big distance between her and Tony. She's kind of feeling good about herself. Her sexuality is kind of awakened by this, her crush. And, it's she's kind of like rejuvenated in a way, and he just kind of takes all the air out of it right there.
I think she got the haircut for Furio.
Oh yeah, I
You know,
agree.
she didn't get it for
I
Tony.
agree.
Just coincidence. Christopher's apartment. Here comes Adriana. She's
They're
calling.
watching. He's watching the movie called The Oscar from 1966 with. It's about Hollywood. Elkie Summer, Jill St. John, Milton Berle, Ernest Borgnine, and Tony Bennett are all
You know,
in the
Milton
movie.
Berle had a giant cock. You know that he
I did not know that.
he
How
had
did you know that?
because and I'm not kidding. I was at a wedding.
And he was there.
80
And
early
and he had,
90s. Early 90s. He was at the wedding.
wait, wait a
I got
second.
pictures with
Wait,
him.
okay, just stop it right there. That's how you know he was at a wedding
Yeah.
and he took it out.
No.
Wait,
No, would you wait? Would you fucking let me talk? I was at a wedding. Ross Mark. He used to be a producer for the Tonight Show. I was invited, me and my wife. My wife was pregnant, so it was like 91, I'd say. It was out in L.A. Great wedding, great big. Billy Vera and the Beaters were the wedding band. It was, remember them?
Yeah,
Billy Vera and the Beaters. They were great. Milton Berle was
I know they had
there.
that big hit.
Harvey
this moment.
Korman, Milton Berle, and Milton Berle was there, and I got a great picture with him. And it was a black tie, and one of the girls said something about Milton Berle having a big cock. You know what he's famous for? And I had no idea. And she
He's
told me.
famous for that?
He's famous. Look it up. He's famous for having the biggest cock in Hollywood. Sinatra also had one, but Milton Berle is famous, and he would take it out. And he banged, and he's an ugly looker. He was not an attractive man.
Now, he took it out at the wedding?
No,
Is that
not
where
at
we're
the
going with
wedding,
this?
but he has taken it out when in his younger day, and he has slept with the most beautiful women in Hollywood history. If you look, because of that salami on him, he had a
Not
giant
because he's
salami.
famous and rich?
I think it was a lot to do with the salami because he wasn't an attractive guy, you know.
Well, that's got nothing to do with anything in Hollywood.
Well, I mean,
know.
there's other good-looking guys with money and all that, but that's look it up. Go
So
Google.
how did you find this out, though? What happened? at the
One
wedding?
of the guests at the wedding told me Merle had a big cock, and I had just finished taking a picture with him. I didn't see anything.
And how
I
did
didn't
they
look.
know?
It's Google it. It's well known. This is a well-known fact. And this was before Google. But Google Milton Berle's cock. Just do that. I'll wait.
Andy? No, you don't have to wait. Let's move on.
Okay.
I believe you. Have I ever not believed you? I believe you. If you say it, your word is gospel.
Oh, my God, she's dead. She's looking to take Cosette for a walk. She walks in. She's aggravated. Her boyfriend's nodded off. Her fiance, they're getting married in 3 weeks. You killed her. You fucking killed her. She must have climbed under me for warmth. It was an accident. I'll get you another dog. You're fucking high. She's very upset. I'll buy you another
How
dog.
long have I been saying she shouldn't be on the furniture?
Yeah.
That was the problem. She shouldn't have been on the furniture. You know
Really?
what I mean? You know, you let your dogs sit on
My
the couch.
my dogs sleep with me. My Willie sleeps with me, Willie boy.
Yeah, well,
Sleeps in the bed.
We'll have a discussion about that.
He sleeps on the
Later
couch. It's part of the family. A lot of people's
That's
dogs, you know.
So you
See?
think Christopher was wrong? You think it wasn't?
Are you kidding me?
It wasn't Cosette's fault. It was Christopher's fault.
He was
the drug.
there. The dog didn't slide in under. The dog was there. Christopher was whacked out and slept and broke the dog's neck. Bada bing, back room. Tony, Silvio, Paulie, Georgie played pool. So Tony's still playing this anybody here from Ralph shit.
He's like obsessed with it now, it seems.
It's very obvious what he's doing. Paulie, try the gay man's choir. I read they were having tryouts today. Paulie, who never liked Ralphie, we know that. Chris walks in with the picture that Tony had made. He's high. He sees the picture of Pyomai. He's very upset. Almost starts crying, and he runs out. Paulie,
A dead
of course,
horse and a dead dog. There's a connection there.
and Paulie, of course, wants the money. What are they playing for? That's a forfeit. The money's ours. How much could they be
20
playing?
bucks?
Yeah.
$10? I don't know. Probably.
Tony's in the car. He calls Sylvia, get rid of the fucking picture, burn the thing. I never want to see it again. Now he paid $6,500 for this picture.
Why does he want to burn it? Why does he not want?
Well, because he doesn't want any. A couple things. The dog was burned to death. He saw that, and the horse, and he saw that, and he saw the horse burnt. Ralphie, he killed. He wants to wipe all that like it never happened. He's trying to make it like he didn't. He's convinced himself almost he didn't kill Ralphie. He wants no part of this.
That's what he does, doesn't he? He does that with Christopher later on. He does that. Like he kind of convinces
no part
himself
of it.
that
He's got no problem with it. Furio, the plane lands. Alla Kliouka. He's in a cab. He looks around. Furio, very sad.
He sees Burger King, which he mentioned when he was in Naples. He saw Burger King wrappers in Naples, and it made him upset. Now he's seeing it. He sees the massage spa, which I don't know if that's the one where he went in and beat up the couple who ran at that time. And he thinks the guy on the driver's talking on a cordless headset, and he thinks the guy's talking to him. The guy's talking in another language. He's just lost in America. He doesn't kind of, he's kind of torn between.
He's in love. He's in love. And let me ask you something. Is there a massage spa like that in a strip mall that isn't a hand job joint? Is there really one somewhere that you could really go get a real massage?
In Manhattan, there are plenty.
In
Chinatown.
Yeah. Chinatown, those are legit places.
Well, yeah, a lot of them. I mean, the ones I've been to are.
They never, you go in for a real massage and they start tickling the balls.
No, there's a place we go. My wife and I have been going on Center Street for many years after we work out downtown. There's a place, this woman runs it for many years. She used to be on White Street. Now she's on Center Street. We've been going there for years. Yeah, no, there's nothing
nothing like that. But there's a lot. But there's still a million of these places where you go and get a hand job, right?
Does Milton Berle pay extra because of?
They probably have 4 girls with fucking 2 hands each to take care of that.
There you go.
His day. Well, he's dead, but in his day. I'm telling you, you think I'm joking about this?
No, I don't think
They said his cock looked like a baby's arm with an apple in it.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's what they say.
I mean, who's they? Who's this they?
The universe, man. The people out there. People that have seen this thing. I've never seen it.
I used to like Milton Berle until you described that. Now I don't like him anymore. You know what I liked him in? It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World. He's very funny.
But what's that? Because he's got a big cock, you don't like him? What's that got to do with it?
No, the image of how you described it just puts things, it's just grossing me out, the whole thing.
Right.
I don't want to know that about my heroes, I don't want to know all that.
And what happens if now who's someone you like? Tell me who you're a big fan of. An old-time actor. Marlon Brando? You're a Marlon Brando fan? James Dean?
Sure, I love him.
What happens if I tell
Paul Newman?
What happens if I said? What happens if I say to you?
Oh, Spencer Tracy.
What happens if I said to you, Spencer Tracy had a tiny little dick? He had a half-inch dick. Catherine Hepburn said that he's got a little dick. Would that bother you?
I don't want to know, nor do I care.
Okay, see, that doesn't bother you, but because Milton Berle had a big dick, that bothers you.
That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is the analogy you made. I just find it, I don't know, disturbing and weird.
All right. Vesuvio.
So he was always dressed up he dressed in women's clothes a lot.
Yeah, he was he used to be, what do you call that?
Cross-dressed.
Yeah, he used
but
to
he did it for his routines, his comic routines. It was a joke. He didn't do it in his private.
How do we know? How do we know what he did? Garter belts.
Well, we know the exact size of his, sex organ. Why don't we know that? I don't know.
He was one of the first guys, I think, to do the drag thing. To dress in drag as a joke.
First guy. They've been doing drag since ancient Greece. What are you talking about?
No, but big stars. Do you know any other big stars that used to do that? Howard Stern did it later on. Dennis
Oh,
Rodman did it. Milton Berle did it way back when. Way back.
yeah.
All right.
Well,
What can I say? What can I say, Michael?
you've
I don't
already
have
said
all
it.
the answers. What's with Ralph? They're having dinner at the Vesuvio. Silvio, Patsy, and Albert. Albert. Well, what's with Ralph? Fucking Bermuda Triangle.
Bermuda Triangle. That's an interesting. Have you looked into that at all?
Yeah.
The Bermuda Triangle.
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
No. It's documented. At least 15 planes and at least 15 ships have gone down in this small region. One theory is Atlantis is underneath there. Another theory is that there's a colony of aliens that live in a base under the water there. An alien civilization. Actually, that's more what people are leaning towards, that theory.
Do you know what I think? It's all bullshit and it's coincidental. And you think there's aliens under the sea?
Well, it's not a coincidence. There's 30, there's 15 planes that went down there.
I understand
Many lives have been lost.
And you think there's aliens? It's aliens like people down there under the sea?
Magnetic field that just
I don't explain it. I think there's a coincidence. For some reason, it gets foggy, it gets icy, something happens out there,
That's
and they go down.
Coincidence. Big coincidence.
I know it is. I know it is. You really think there's a whole world under the sea? I know
Listen,
in space,
I don't rule anything out.
There was octopus in space. Now you're telling me there's a village under the sea.
Not an octopus, a squid. Come on. Don't put words in my mouth.
You fucking.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my. I don't know what's happened, man. I don't know what happened to you. He's down in the bunker. His kid's been, his kid's not well. He's down in the bunker. We're off the record here, Albert. Albert says it's Tony. Patsy says it could happen to any of us. What's next?
So they know what happened.
Yeah, what's next? If he whacked a guy over a horse, what's next? He whacks him, how fucked is that? The pair of shoes that he's wearing?
That's what Christopher said in Ralphie's house to Tony. If it could happen to him, it could happen to anybody.
I agree. I also think that Ralphie didn't just die because of the horse. That was the
that was the last straw. The straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah, he was out of line many times. He
should have been killed probably sooner in this world.
The Tracy thing was horrendous. Yeah. He was always saying the wrong thing, insults, jokes, shitty remarks all the time. But he was a good earner.
And that's what it's all about. There's no morals as long as he makes money. That's all they care about. Justin's hospital room, Tony. So when Tony leaves the Bada Bing, he's telling them, about Ralph. Burned the picture. He goes to the hospital room. He sits. He's watching.
Why does he go to the hospital? What is he doing?
I think he's guilty. He's feeling guilty a little bit. And he says, which is not true, I think Justin recognized me a few minutes ago. And he hands Ralphie's ex-wife an envelope because
Marissa Matrone plays the ex-wife. She's very good. She doesn't have a ton, a big part, but she's very specific and really good. I really like how she played that part.
And once again, in this world, and I agree with you because we mentioned that last episode, how good she was. In this world, it's all about cash. That's fixes. Let's give him money. I killed his father. Let's give him money. That'll ease the pain. Soprano house. Carmela opens the door. Furio's there. She smiles. Come in. He's getting dressed. No, he's going to wait in the car. I bring presents.
He brings a little book of Dante, for Meadow. And for AJ, he brings the Gobetto, the little hunchback. The hunchback is a good luck charm. The hunch symbolizes abundance, virility. It breaks the evil eye. The evil eye directly affects men's sperm. Did you know that? So the hunchback protects against the evil eye, against the sperm, to protect the man's virility. It's a very important talisman, the Gobetto, in Italy. Oddly enough, the Gobetto's making the horns. See, like, if someone's going to do the evil eye, you make the horns.
Yeah.
Or if someone makes a compliment, you make the horns. But the horns is also when your wife
You
cheats
get the
on you.
Maloika.
That means she gives you the horns.
Yeah.
You call an Italian guy cornut,
Yeah.
they'll want to kill you. You know, I mean, that's the worst thing you could ever call an Italian guy.
Now, but I also remember growing up, if an old lady had a hunchback, if you touched that hunchback, it was good luck.
Good luck. Well, that's
Good
why
luck.
the hunchback, the Gobetto, is a symbol of good luck.
I don't
now,
know
you
if-
believe in all that stuff, right? The evil eye and the.
I believe in, I mean, you know, if a lady, you would try to touch a hunchback, you try to do it without her, you know, the grocery store, you try to, you know, bump up against her for good luck. There was a lot of
You've done that.
I've done that when I was a kid.
So, but do you believe someone has power to do an evil eye?
I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of that going on. That's like believing in voodoo dolls. You believe in voodoo dolls? You put pins in somebody's forehead? Do you do that?
Absolutely. Sure. That's documented. What are you talking about, voodoo? Voodoo is true.
Documented by who? The way you're telling me about Milton Berle? Who?
By researchers.
These people that kill goats in the basement? People that draw the blood of goats?
Voodoo,
you believe that? I don't believe in that.
All that stuff is real. You don't
So you think somebody could put a spell on you?
If they know what they're doing, yeah. You
believe in voodoo dolls, putting a pin through
when
somebody.
you go to the barber, you don't leave the hair there. You take it with you, right? And then you dispose of it yourself. You don't leave it for the barber so he can make voodoo dolls with you.
You know, you're out of your fucking mind. Soprano driveway. Carmela's disappointed there's no gift for her. Soprano driveway.
She's really disappointed. She's very, very disappointed.
He thought she would bring him a little something. Furio's crying. Come on now. He's crying. He's so in love. He's crying.
He's lost. He's in love. He doesn't want to be in America. He doesn't want to be in Italy. He doesn't know where he belongs. He's heartbroken. And Tony has no patience for the grief. You know, the guy's father just died, and he's like, you got to get over it. We've seen that before. Tony doesn't like when people, you know, he doesn't like seeing that. He's uncomfortable. Then the next scene, he's crying. It's all right for him to.
Well, that's why he's all warped. And also in the intervention, as we'll see later on, he keeps bringing up, I know what it's like to kill a pet. He tells Christopher, you killed a dog, I should suffocate you. He cares more about animals than he does people.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, Tony's crying.
I think you're right.
He's talking about Pyomai. You know, I got to be the sad clown. Yeah, he says, I
got to be the sad clown, which is not true. He's never the sad clown.
No.
At all.
He's crying. And he's very upset. And she calls him on it. Yeah, the only time I saw you like this
I've never seen that. Yeah.
Was with ducks.
Right. She says, well, maybe Carmela says you're volatile, you punch walls, you gorge on food, you're compulsive and stuff. And then he takes offense at that. And he's like, well, you two don't have to trouble yourself. Like he kind of puts them both like in the same camp. It's hilarious.
He's talking about my nephew. I love that kid. Like I love my son. He's got a drug problem. It kills me just to say it because I got so many hopes tied up in this kid. She tells him, you've caused much suffering yourself. You know?
He doesn't want to go there.
He's going to take 80 milligrams of Prozac, and then he'll come back before he gets to limp dick, so he's got all that figured out. She says it doesn't work that way. You can't take it for grief. He gives the old Rodney King, can't we just all get along line? Which isn't a bad slogan for our times. Can't we all fucking get along now?
Obviously not.
You know?
You and I can't get along, and we're friends.
I know. Can't we all just get along?
I mean, you're going to make a video talking about, 30 people that you hate. I mean, what do you mean, can't we all get along? It's not appropriate for our times.
I'm trying to get along with them while I'm alive, but it's not working. It's not me.
Work.
Everyone out there knows me. I'm easygoing. I go with the fucking flow.
Right.
Agent San Severino's car Adriana and Severino talk. How about Carmine Lupatazzi? Christopher ever talk about a dinner? She's saying, I don't fucking know. Then she admits he's stoned on H all the time.
And they know that. They put him on the mailing list for Hazelden, which is a famous rehab clinic in Minnesota, I believe. Then the car pulls up with the dog. The song playing in the other car is Analyzed by the Cranberries. Had several really good songs. Dolores O'Riordan, the singer, unfortunately passed away in 2018, died of alcohol poisoning in a bathtub.
You know, I got to tell you, for people out there, you know, if you never had a pet, like a dog, and, you know, you don't really understand, but they do become part of your family. And
I had a dog when I was a kid.
And I've had a bunch of them, and they died, and it is really sad, and it's just part of it. I mean, it's really, really sad, man. You know, it's I had to take one to. My wife was out of town. I had to go take one to put it to sleep, put it to sleep. And
No, that's no
it's
fun.
sad. It's sad.
We had a rooster. You know, we did the play Chicken at Studio Dante. Mike Batistic wrote it. Nick Sandow directed, and I was in it with Sharon Angela and E.J. Carroll, Quincy Bernstein. And we had a rooster named Dino because the play was about cockfighting. And
Milton Berle would have won that fight. Hello.
Milton Berle would have been a stacked deck. But the rooster, we bought a rooster, and the rooster became part of the cast. I would get to the, theater.
I saw that play. I saw the play, yeah.
And the rooster, I would sit on the stage I had a reclining chair, my character had, and the rooster would just lay on my chest, and I would pet him. He would just sit there for half an hour. So there was a scene. He had a cage that was set at the foot of the stage, and one day during the rehearsal, I threw him in the air, and he landed right on top of the cage. And I did it again. He did the same thing. And then I did it at dress rehearsal when there was an audience. In the front row, the audience was right up against the stage. And I did it again. Every night, that rooster did the same thing. He would fly in the air and land right on top of his cage every single night of that run. He trained, you just did it, and he learned how to do it and did it every night. He was the best pet. We would bring him home. My kids loved him. And then finally we brought him to a farm on Staten Island, and he lived there for the rest of his days.
And he never pecked. He never hurt. Never.
Oh, he was great. He was great. Literally, he would just sit on my chest.
And you think he's still alive?
No, he passed away. He passed away. I think he was eaten by some coyotes.
They sold him to Chick-fil-A.
No, they didn't sell.
No?
You don't eat. I don't think you eat the roosters. No. But what happened was, we went to do research. We went to New Mexico to see real cockfights, which was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. But we asked one of the trainers. They said, "Well, what do you feed the rooster?" They said, "You give the rooster whatever you eat. You feed the rooster." So we're like, okay. So we were giving him. There was an Italian restaurant across the street, Birichino on 29th Street, a great restaurant, by the way. We would feed it whatever we had, pasta, veal, steak. And one day the rooster got really sick, almost died. We brought him to the vet. He said, "What are you feeding this thing?" We said, "Pasta, veal, whatever." He goes, you can't, it's a bird. It doesn't eat that stuff. You got to give it bird's feed. I'm like, somebody told us to give it whatever we eat.
Oh, my God. Did you feed him chicken?
And that was a big mistake.
Did you feed him chicken?
I don't remember. But then we put him on the feed, and he got better. Thank God. He was the best. Dino, that was his name.
Remember the cockfights at Seinfeld, Little Jerry? Remember that one?
Yeah. Cockfights, they put blades on them.
Yeah, I would not want to see that.
They slice each other's head up.
I wouldn't want to see that. And the people go crazy, right? They love it. A lot of bets. Yeah, a lot of bets.
Yeah.
Wow. We're in the parking lot. Silvio and Paulie wait for Christopher, who's late.
Always late.
The other day, T with that picture, they're waiting for the big screen TVs. He looked like he's going to cry. No word from Ralph. Where the fuck is this kid? And then Paulie talks about Carl Malden's nose hairs.
On the waterfront.
On the big screen, looked like movie, BX right? Cable. Yeah, great movie. Looked like BX Cable.
I just saw it about 2 weeks ago. It was on. It's fantastic. It's really good. And Brando is just incredible in that movie.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
He's exceptionally great. I love that. Bud Schulberg wrote that script. Elie Kazan directed it. Eva Marie Saint, Rod Steiger, Lee J. Cobb, and Malden. Great
All
cast.
stars. All stars.
Exceptionally good movie.
Christopher drives up to the drug dealers on the street. They put a gun to his head.
He's really in deep at this point.
They carjack.
you're buying an eighth of an ounce.
They carjack.
They beat him with that Fisher-Price xylophone, which I had when I was a kid. They still make that thing. That's a very popular toy.
Did you tell them that? Is that why they put it in there?
No, I don't know why they put it. I mean, it was a really good detail.
They hijack the car. He says, "You know who I am," which is kind of the worst thing you could ever say. They give him a beating and they take the car. These guys have done this. That's probably the third time that day they did it. Because they had it all set
Bad for
up.
business.
Two guys, yeah, exactly. They probably don't even sell heroin. They're probably not even drug dealers.
Maybe not. You're right.
They probably just make it like it is, and they hijack the cars all day. Soprano kitchen, Carmela and her parents prep dinner. Tony's trying to uncork the wine that Furio brought back.
Do you like homemade wine?
No, not at all.
It's very rare that it's any good.
I don't like red wine. I don't like red wine.
Most of the time, it's it's not very good. I had my grandfather's brother, my great uncle, used to make white wine that was really strong, but really good. Most of the time, it's like Junior says later in the episode, reminds me of people's feet.
Yeah, you know what I used to like. What did Richard used to make? That moonshine kind of thing?
He didn't make it. He used.
The fuck was that? He didn't make it?
That was spiritus, whatever.
I don't know what the fuck
that was. 99 proof or something.
I took you for a loop. I used to like that.
You had to be careful because it would evaporate pretty much as soon as you put it in your mouth. You had to be careful that your throat wouldn't seize up and close because it was a shock to the system. Man.
That is something. I also drank moonshine. Have you drank moonshine?
No.
Yeah, I did a bit for Leno with that country duo Montgomery Gentry, and I was on their tour bus and they had the moonshine. Oof. Oh, god damn. Yeah. Tony and Camille, they're preparing dinner. Tony got the cork stuck in the bottle. He's annoyed. Fucking homemade shit. Yeah, that somebody cared enough about to carry all the way from the old country. Carmela's defending Furio. I talked to Ronnie. I asked if she heard from Ralph.
He's obsessed with this Ralph thing. He goes on and on about it.
He's covering his tracks. He's trying, overdoing it. Kid's got a respiratory infection now. What is that?
Nobody's listening to Tony. Nobody's listening to him. Nobody wants to hear his stuff
his wife don't
about Ralph. Neither does Mary and Hugh. They're kind of ignoring him, kind of dismissing what he's saying.
Now, is that a turkey or a chicken? Turkey or a chicken?
I think it's a little turkey with the bag of giblets, the organs.
And
I've done that. I've forgotten to take them out. One turkey we had for Thanksgiving didn't defrost enough. We had this convection oven. And we took it out to serve. It was dinner time, and it was like frozen on the. It was disgusting. I kind of find
the turkey
kind of gross. Yeah,
but she left it in to show that she's absent-minded because she's kind of thinking about Furio, I guess, and that's why she left the giblet bag in there. The mother's talking about the skin condition. Like you said, no one cares what he's got to say. Carmela
he's talking about the horse.
Yeah,
he's talking about the horse.
You doesn't want to hear it. Carmela don't want to hear it.
He wants some more string beans.
Yeah, he's shoveling potatoes onto his dish. Christopher's apartment. Christopher shows up with Eddie, an obvious junkie. He got
Eddie's played by Daniel London. I guess he's wearing Ricci April's jacket.
Is that his jacket? I don't know.
Very similar.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the jacket. I don't know how he would get it. Last time we saw it, it was the Polish maid's husband had it.
Right. So how would he get it?
How would this guy get it? I don't know. He's good people, Adriana. He wants $30. He must have got you high. They took his ride, his watch. Adriana hands the brochure from Hazelton. He slaps him. No, this is the worst of Christopher. This is just Christopher's a bad fucking guy. Yeah. I mean,
he's bad.
He's
he's
bad
hitting
guy.
bottom now. Yeah.
I mean, he slaps her in the face. He hits her 3 times. Takes her money, takes her bag. And she's basically an innocent. She just wants to help him.
He's a mess. He's a mess. No doubt.
Bada bing parking lot. Little Paulie and Benny. They're burning the Pie Oh My painting. Paulie
Again,
goes,
right where Tracy was killed. You
Yeah.
know, that place has a weird kind of, and he's burning the painting, and it's the horse burned too in real life. And the horse itself burned. They're trying to burn the painting of the horse. He thinks it cost $25,000.
Yeah, 25, 30 at a minimum. It's an honor to have him hanging. Paulie's a big suck ass. He's a suck ass.
Yeah.
Right?
He does it with Johnny Sack, with Carmine.
Yeah, he's a
and
suck
with
ass.
Tony
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. We haven't had a wingo meter. We need to wingo meter him soon.
we haven't had it. No.
We haven't.
Where is it actually?
It's. I have it in the apartment, but he's been very.
Well, you're moving. Make sure you don't lose it in the shuffle over there.
It's very dormant. It's very dormant. The wingo meter.
We got to get.
Soprano kitchen. Tony comes down. Adriana's in the. Sits in the kitchen. She's bloody.
He does a nice
her face.
push in with the camera there from Tony's POV when he sees Adriana. There's a great push in going right into her and Carmela. It's a very cool shot, Alan Taylor. Nice move there. I like what he did there.
You know what? There's a little something here that he says. Carmela's telling him that. Christopher hit her. He's on heroin. 3 weeks before the wedding. Tony, let me figure this out. We're a family. But
intervention, he's like, we can't have an intervention. We're a family. Do I have to spell it out? Yeah, it's
exactly.
Like, what are we going to do? Talk about our
But
business?
the thing is, what did you do? Why did he do it? Well, what was his exact word? When Carmela says Christopher hit her, she said, Tony says, "Why? Christopher did this? What for? Like, there's a reason. Well, what for? Why did he hit you? What did he do?
Yeah.
What? And of course, we're a family. So Tony wants to brush it under the rug at the moment.
Yeah, the idea of bringing in an outsider, it's outrageous. So then he calls the phone. He tries to reach him, and
I'll ring his
Somebody's
neck.
got the phone. Somebody's got the car. He's a mess. 3 weeks before the wedding. Again, he's in no condition to be married. It's not.
And she says she has a bag packed. She'll go to her aunt's in Daytona. I mean, how do they even think to marry this guy at this point? Paulie's apartment. Paulie hangs the painting, smiles, and he's
got
watching
the plastic
fights.
covered chair.
Yeah.
The furniture.
It's like every Italian. That's why if you ever had an Italian in the White House, they would have plastic seat covers all over the
plastic seat cover.
I mean,
which are horrible in the summer.
Oh, it's horrible. You stick to that, and really horrible. Every Italian family. Then they used to have the not in my house. We lived in an apartment, but they have the house, and then they had that living room where no one ever went. Maybe just on the holidays.
Well, my grandparents lived in the Bronx. The basement was huge. Was a huge kitchen dining area, and that's basically where we always were.
Yeah.
Upstairs there was a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen. 2 kitchens. That kitchen they never used unless they were cooking a lot of food for holidays.
Yeah.
That dining room we never ever ate. And the living room was where you'd go up after you ate to watch TV. But that dining room and kitchen they never used. It was interesting. It was that basement.
That's a lot of people.
Spent the whole,
And they have the plastic seat covers on them. Furio's house, Carmela and AJ arrive, which is very odd to me that AJ, who's not a kid anymore, what the fuck, I mean, what is she doing there?
He's her beard. He's bearding for her. And
yeah,
he doesn't
but
know.
what happens if he tells Tony? hey, we went by Furio's today. That would be odd. But Tony would have every right to say, what are you doing at Furio's? It's under the
She could
guise of
say, I'm
helping
helping him
her.
with the house, the
Yeah.
decorating. I want to be doing that. He offers coffee. She wants the coffee. She's very pushy too.
Yeah. If AJ wasn't there, something could have happened here. I believe that.
Something could have happened. Now finally has the gift, 35-year-old balsamic vinegar from Modena, which is famous for its balsamic vinegar. She's very happy. She's got the gift. He says, I don't belong in Italy no more. Something's changed. I feel like a visitor in my own town. Yet he doesn't feel like he belongs in America. She talks about the girlfriend, knows someone special. Jessica, who she hooked him up with, the dental hygienist.
She
he's
was
not
happy.
Really into her.
She was happy to hear that he's not with her anymore. No communication, he says. She was happy to hear that. Wow, what happened? It's getting heavy. It's getting heavy, man. It's getting heavy.
Yeah, it's getting heavy.
Junior's house. Tony and Furio arrives. Svetlana's in the kitchen. Where's the old fart? He's taking his afternoon nap. He's asking her about her personal life. He's flirting. She's on
smoking.
her laptop.
She's
Smoking always. Every scene she smokes. Maybe when he gets back from Port St. Lucie, he's a Met fan. That's where they have their training.
He goes down to watch them train? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, right? That's a big thing in the spring.
It's great. Yeah.
You've done it?
Sure. I've done it, yeah.
What did you see? The Yankees?
I saw the Yankees. I've seen in Arizona.
Where are the Yankees?
Well, the Yankees were in Fort Lauderdale for years. Now they're in Tampa, I believe. They have all these small towns in Florida and in Arizona where they do spring training, In Vegas, they used to, major leaguers would come in and play an exhibition game. You would have like Major League Weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You bring 4 or 5 teams in. It was great. Spring baseball is really a lot of fun because it's loose. Crowds are smaller. Now you should do it. They're going down to spring training soon, February, March. The stands are smaller. It's smaller crowds. It's very intimate.
Yeah.
Players are looser. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's not expensive like Yankees.
Nah, no way, not even close. A lot of old timers in Florida, that's what they do. It's a big deal. Svetlana's on the laptop. Bill's a lucky man. You Russians, you got all the angles. You come over here, you bust your ass. Look at you. You have every excuse to be in the bottle, and here you are designing websites. Tony's flirting.
He says, what excuse?
She
doesn't even know what he's talking about.
That's what I was saying. She doesn't think of herself as being anything wrong. Also, they toast with the wine. She says the wine needs ice. It's got that. It's got that.
It's that homemade,
homemade thing. That's tough.
It's a nice scene between the two of them. I liked it a lot. I like this scene.
When I was young,
Jim is really good.
My grandfather used to give us red wine with Coke.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, on ice. Red wine with a Coca-Cola with a little red wine. Yeah,
or 7-Up sometimes too. I love that.
Paulie's
it's
house.
A nice scene. The acting's really good, I have to say. The two of them. Furio goes to look at Bloomberg on TV, but there's no cable, which is hilarious.
No cable. Yeah, I go look at the Bloomberg. He said. Then you hear him say, "No cable." Paulie's house. Paulie vacuums. He's staring at the painting. It's something he doesn't like. It looks like Tony's watching him, and he's spooked. It's a good scene.
He's in his guinea tea. He's got the George Foreman grill commercials playing. He's got his Bissell carpet sweeper. He's very domestic and oddly domestic, tasks at home.
Listen.
Looking at the painting.
We've told the story before when they were trying to figure out what Paulie's apartment looks like, and they were racking their brains as set designers. And then somebody said, "What do you mean the guy is the guy? Let's go to Tony's house and see what his apartment looks like." And that's what they built on the set, a replica of Tony Sirico's house.
At the time, was he still living in, before he moved to, he was still living with his mother at that time,
No,
right?
no. He was gone.
That was after that.
He was gone by then. He has an apartment, and he is domesticated. He lives by himself, and he does everything I think he's got a cleaning lady. He's got a cleaning lady, I guess.
He's got a cleaning lady.
Junior's house. Tony and Junior sitting on the couch. Heroin, you got one option. A dog you love catches rabies. You put her out of her misery.
And this is foreshadowing what actually happened. Does Junior put the idea in Tony's head there? You know what I mean? That's exactly what happens later on. And in the intervention, Tony even says, "I'll suffocate you," which is
but it's also later. But it happens years later.
Yeah, a couple of years later. But it's
years
interesting
later,
that he brings it up here.
He says Dominic Palladino. I remember him. He says, yeah, he was a B&E, breaking and entering guy, a real juicer. So he's got a reputation, Dominic. He's the one that's going to run the intervention he's reaching out to. If it was up to Junior, Christopher would be gone. And I think if it was anybody else, Tony would have killed him.
I love his line, me with the competency hearings, you with the head shrinkers, this one in rehab. You know, he's just like, it's all kind of falling apart. Interesting shot. Tony looks over towards the kitchen. And he sees Svetlana touch Furio's arm.
Yeah.
It's a point of view shot. Obviously, he sees it. It's just kind of interesting. And Junior's line, this reminds me of People's Feet about the homemade wine. It's hilarious. It's just, it's such a Junior,
and
such
Tony,
a Junior remark.
Tony has her in the eyesight, in the sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Rosalie's house. Carmela and Rosalie are talking outside. Sharon
I think
Angela.
they're eating Entenmann's coffee cake, it looks like.
And you know what? I mean, Ro admits that she was cheating on Jackie.
On Jackie.
Of Steve from the gym. She was sneaking around.
But she stopped when he got sick.
She felt guilty. Yeah. So she was banging another guy. You know, you haven't slept with him yet? You're not fucking him, so it's not really real. And don't start now. It's too much work, too much trouble. You know what'll happen to Furio if Tony finds out, he'll kill him. You know.
But she says it is real. We communicate. He looks at me like I'm beautiful. Just those few minutes when we see each other, I live for that. I feel like my life is slipping through my fingers, and I'll never be happy. Big. That's big, man. She's all in here. You know what I mean? She's part of me feels like it's a bad idea that she tells Rosalie.
I think it's a terrible idea to tell anyone.
Yeah.
So, she hasn't spent all that much time with Furio. It's more like a crush than anything. You know?
It's a crush, yeah. But it just shows what she's lacking and what she's missing from life, and what she's missing from her relationship with Tony.
The grass is always greener, my friend.
I guess
grass is always fucking greener. You know what I mean?
That's what Milton Berle said. He said that, didn't he?
If she ever got a hold of Milton Berle, she'll forget Tony and Furio. Are you fucking kidding me? Carmela be on a fucking rocket. Boom. Adrian, here's the intervention pre-meeting. Adriana,
at
Tony,
Silvio's house. They're at Silvio's house. Huh?
They're serving cake, I think.
Cookies. Gabriella serving cookies. Yeah.
Great line here. Dominic says, for those who don't know me, my name is Dominic. I'm an alcoholic and an addict. And, of course, Paulie, don't forget scumbag.
Don't forget scumbag. Now, this is, I will say, Dominic Palladino is played by Elias Koteas, one of my favorite actors. He's a brilliant, brilliant actor. He was in Thin Red Line, the Terrence Malick movie. He was in Crash, David Cronenberg. He's in a lot of Adam Egoyan's movies like Exotica. He's been on Broadway with Josh Brolin and True West. He did a play with us that I produced, Studio Dante.
I remember that.
And Nick Sandow directed, called Dark Yellow. And my son, Vadim, was 9. And the play opens in the dark. So you can't see, the audience can't see anything. And my son was 9, he's in his pajamas, and you just hear him. You hear him and Elias. Elias is chasing him through a cornfield and murders this kid. That's how the play opens.
I didn't remember.
He's just in the beginning. Vadim was in the play with him. It's a play called Dark Yellow by Julia Jordan. Really good play. And he's just a fantastic actor.
Well, he makes it look so easy.
Great guy. And a really good guy. I like him a lot. He's wonderful. And he's great in this role. Perfect.
most of the great actors are good guys. A lot of fucking half-ass fucking actors that don't work, that want to be, those are the pricks because they're insecure and they're compensating. Okay?
Right.
They're afraid.
I think you're right. You're onto something there.
They're afraid. They're scared. They compensate. They overcompensate for their insecurities. A guy like this makes it look easy. It doesn't even look like he's acting. And a sweet guy. I mean, I'm being dead serious now. I fuck around.
I know,
but
he's fantastic.
I'm dead serious here. And you, as we have worked, you're doing it. I'm making a living for 21 years. I've been acting over 25 years now. It's not the stars, the real good actors, even if they're not a star, just the real solid actors. They're great. It's those other half-ass fuckers that they're the problems, And I know plenty of them.
What's funny in this scene is nobody there really knows how to do this or what this really is about or what, any of you been involved in an intervention? Silvio says, we caught our daughter smoking pot once. I mean, they're really kind of clueless. He calls it not a confrontation, a carefrontation. If he's high, we got to wait till he's sober. During my first intervention, Stephen Petrano waited 10 hours for me to sober up. They're like, first intervention? He's like, well, often, there's relapses. Paulie's like, great, he's taking advice from a two-time loser. Says they don't understand the concept of recovery and addiction.
I think most people don't.
These people.
Years ago, a friend of mine had a problem, and I was asked, if to attend an intervention. I said, how can I go to this guy and talk about drinking and whatever the fuck else he's doing if I'm drinking?
No, you talk about how the guy's drinking has hurt you or,
But do you know what I'm
impacted
saying?
your life in a negative way.
I understand.
But have you heard have you hurt him through your drinking?
No.
But has he hurt you? Has he done stuff? Maybe yes. That's the difference.
Well, I didn't participate. I didn't feel good about participating. If I've been out drinking with you and we've been out many a fucking night falling down drunk, how am I going to now go and preach to you?
Oh, I'd have no problem doing it to you.
Well, because you're fucked up.
No, I'm not. If you were going around, making a spectacle of yourself, doing shit, stealing shit, being inappropriate, stuff like that, I'd have no problem trying.
Yeah, but it wasn't to that degree. It was just a guy that was.
That's what I mean. That's why it never happened. That's why we never had to do an intervention for you. It was never discussed.
It's not even close.
It was never discussed.
I don't have a
we
fucking
never discussed that with you.
I haven't even had a problem. Nothing close to that. But
listen,
okay.
I mean, if Laura called me up and said, "Michael, Steve's
out of control," that's different.
I would be there, and I'd say, "You're out of line. You're an embarrassment, and you need to sober up."
And I would say, "What about you? What about fucking you? Doing X, Y, Z."
But nobody's doing that to me. They're doing it to you. Your wife's calling me on the phone saying you got a problem.
Okay, I understand. Maybe you're right. Tony's car. Tony and Valentina drive. Valentina's a fucking zero. A zero. She's a fucking zero of a human.
Do you have that in your notes? Is that written right in your notes?
Yeah, a zero.
Say Valentina's a zero. Does it really?
She's a terrific actress, Leslie Bega. I'm not talking about her.
She's very believable as that character. I have to say, she really kind of, and it's very specific.
Yeah.
She's a kook. She's in her own world, kind of
self-centered.
She's very good. She does a great job.
She's saying, I saw Ralphie's son from a distance. He's very handsome. And Tony's talking serious, he may not make it. And she's saying, I think I'll have the veal medallions. So she's anticipating what she's going to have for dinner. I'm surprised Tony, and this girl he's only been with a handful of times that we see, takes her to a meeting with Johnny Sack. I guess maybe Johnny called her on the way. He was on his way to Tavern on the Green, Tony
Right.
says, which is a weird choice. That's a tourist spot. It always has
Well, they
been.
want to get out. He doesn't want to be in Jersey, maybe.
Uh,
It's more
and,
anonymous. But
uh,
again, she's not listening to Tony. She's
No.
talking about the food, like what happened in the scene at dinner at his house. It's the same kind of thing. Nobody really wants to hear his.
the veal
Sob
medallions, of course, Johnny Sack, who has a perpetual hard on all the time. He wants a piece of that money that
The
Paulie told him about, the HUD money. And they meet under that Brooklyn Bridge where Paulie told him at the River Cafe. They're right there. That's where that is. And he says, you really want to go down this road? And Tony is not backing off here. And I'm happy to see that because he kind of kowtows to New York all the time. I feel.
He does. And Johnny Sack is a snake. He's a weasel. He's just trying to, he's playing every side against the middle all over the place.
And you know what? Paulie, for him talking, deserves to be whacked.
For all his talk about being the loyal guy and not a rat and a loyal soldier, he's he's a kekeron. He just doesn't shut up.
He's got a big mouth. Yep. The painting shop. Paulie brings it in to the guy. He says, "How much to paint a different suit on him? Change his face a little." I was thinking those paintings you see in the courthouse, something classy. A war general, Napoleon and his horse, that kind of thing. He's rather portly to be Napoleon, not Napoleon exactly, like Napoleon.
Like Napoleon.
It's very
It's
funny.
very specific. Why does he want to change the painting? It's too weird that it's Tony, or what? I don't really.
You're gonna
It's
try
an
to
artistic choice.
You're gonna explain Paulie. I mean,
It's
it's
such an odd decision.
Bada bing back room. The crew's meeting. Tony arrives. I think I know what happened to Ralph again.
Again,
Right? He's not coming back. It's New York. The HUD thing. Things went sour. What'd he say, John? It's not what he said. It's what he didn't say. Complete bullshit. That's a complete bullshit line.
They said, was it the fat joke? Well, that didn't help. I want a full investigation.
Sending out the troops. Paulie stare. Paulie's got to be worried a little bit. It's getting close. Tony's onto it.
Yeah.
I think Paulie's a little worried. Christopher's apartment. He comes out. It's probably the middle of the afternoon. He's waking up. What the fuck?
He's shocked to see that group there. It's the last thing he would ever expect in his own house. And he sees Dominic, who introduced himself, and he's like looking at him like he does know. You're the guy who broke into Stu Leonard, stole all those pork loins.
Stu Leonard used to, he's a friend of mine, Stu Leonard. You know Stu Leonard?
The real Stu Leonard.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He was good friends with Mitch Modell. He used to sell my sauce. Stu's a nice guy. He's got, for those of you who don't know out there, he's got some great store, a couple of great grocery stores. Good guy.
They have
puts a lot
cows,
back
don't
in
they?
the community.
Don't they have like live cows at some of those stores? They milk the cows. You get the milk right there, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
I've never seen that.
You bring the empty bottle, they fill it up for you. I'm
And a
pretty
cow?
sure they do that.
What the fuck?
A cow, yeah, a cow.
Are you
No.
smoking fucking bongs? I was at the
pretty
grocery
sure they
store.
do that. They have a little.
And what do they
petting
have?
zoo.
Brown cows for chocolate milk? What the fuck is that? Where do you bottle your own
That's
milk? I've
that's a
never
myth.
seen.
That's-
I've never seen that. I've been to the store. I did signings at the store. I didn't see cows.
Which one? In Connecticut?
No, not in Connecticut. The one
Well,
up
in Connecticut.
Westchester.
Bring an empty bottle. You'll thank me later.
I gotta milk my own cow.
They milk it for you. You bring the empty bottle, they fill it.
So you say I want 2
That's
gallons.
the best milk you ever have. It comes
So
right
I
from
go,
the cow.
I want 2 gallons of milk, and there's a guy made to order milking cows.
Exactly.
You sure, Andy?
I'm pretty sure.
Is this true?
I think it is. I'm not
Andy?
kidding. Why would I say that?
Is Stu Leonard, you milk cows? Really?
They milk
Okay.
it. If you don't
All
milk
right.
it, they're gonna
You don't
let
milk
people
it.
touch the cows. I
Okay.
think you can pet the cow.
So there's
You
a
can't
guy
milk it.
there, and what's his job title? Milker? Cow milker?
Cow milker.
Help
You
wanted
don't
cow
get it?
milker.
They don't milk it there? And he just wrote, no, you do not. I don't know. I've
right.
heard this.
I think
maybe they only do it certain times a year.
Yeah. Maybe they only do it when they're underground,
They have cows.
Or they're underground in Aquarius in the. What?
What are the cows there for, Andy?
You pet the cow like pets. I don't know. What cows?
Believe me.
All right, if you say so.
For the kids to look at. Okay.
Kids to look at. So look, kids, there's a cow.
I was close. Well, they are cows. I was right about
You bring empty bottles. I'm going to go there with empty bottles. Excuse me. Is the milker around? I got to get a couple gallons for my wife. All right. You're the Christopher says you're the guy who broke into Stu Leonard's set time, stole the pork loins. Dominic, we're here to talk about your drug problem. Now, I love when Adriana, says, I love you very much. You're high all the time. He goes, be specific. You could no longer function as a man.
This was a lot of fun to shoot, I have to say. This scene was great. We all rarely, those scenes when we all get together like that was always fun. But this was just,
hilarious.
This is total fish out of water, them trying to be this kind of, new age, well-adjusted family, and it was really, really fun.
It's really funny.
Well written, well directed,
when she says you can no longer function as a man, Christopher goes, "Oh, like do we really got to talk about this?"
And Paulie's ears perk up when he hears that. That really somehow, okay.
Tony keeps bringing up, you killed little Cosette, the thing with the dog. I know what it's like to lose a pet. He's talking about Pyomai. Because he's still in that world.
But he says, you killed the dog. Well, he's like, what was it, barking?
Was it barking?
Which is hilarious. Like, that would be a good excuse.
I happen to know you were high at my mother-in-law's wake. You were talking nonstop for 20 minutes, but gibberish. Tony goes, at my wake. Tony goes, at my mother's wake. I don't write nothing down. You're weak. You're out of control. You're an embarrassment to yourself and everyone else. Christopher, you got some balls on you. Watch your mouth, Chrissy.
Silvio, I ought to suffocate. Silvio says, when I came in to open up one morning, you had already had half in the toilet. Your hair was in the toilet. What a disgusting. And then he's like, Paul, you want to talk about fucking up? What about you, Sil? Fucking every slut you got working in the place with a wife and kids at home. Bad move there.
Very funny. Dominic keeps telling them not to judge. Don't judge. Chris is very defiant. Tony, can't believe he killed the dog. Paulie, was he barking too much? Tony threatens to suffocate Chris. This is one of the funniest scenes of the show. And you know what? I hate to say it, but Christopher says to Tony, me, the way you eat, you're going to have a heart attack, before you're 50, it says, right?
By the time you're 50, he says, yeah.
Kind of very poignant there, even though, in hindsight, it's a very funny scene. And then, of course, they beat the shit out of Chris.
That was the straw when his mother says, says something, and he says, fuck you, you fucking whore. And that was it.
That was it. But Chrissy gets a punch off. He hits Benny. He hits Benny.
It's hilarious.
Benny gets a fucking... it is really a funny, probably one of the funniest scenes for sure. In the hospital, the doctor to Tony slipped off the kitchen counter, spraying for ants. Hilarious. And while he was wearing socks. The man has a hairline skull fracture. We'll admit him and keep him overnight. Tony asks Adriana to... Adriana's already forgiven him. She says
it's the drugs. It's not him, it's the drugs.
But that's an excuse all the time, isn't it?
Well, look,
you're still responsible for your actions.
He's out of his mind. You're responsible, but she realizes maybe there's a possibility that he could change. People do change.
Yeah, but a lot of people, I hear you with the drinking and with the drugs, but you still got to be responsible for your actions. You can't just say, oh, you know what, Michael? Last night I motherfucked you and I cursed out you and your wife and fuck you and I threw something against the wall of your apartment. Wait a minute. And then the next morning I go, hey, Michael, sorry, man, I got drunk. I didn't mean it.
No, you have to take responsibility for your actions. But if he's willing to saying, you're right, I'm out of control, I'm behaving like a fucking, like a barbarian, I want to change. Go to rehab, clean up, become a different person. That I respect. No, you
Of
can't
course.
just, sorry, I, pissed on your rug,
Well, that's
I'm
what
sorry.
happens, and they're
No.
going, "Hey, it wasn't me. It's a disease." But you have to be responsible.
Well, it
That's
is a disease.
okay. Some people think it's behavioral. Some people think it's
A
disease.
behavioral disease.
But some people think it's just behavioral. You stop if you want to stop. Some people do believe that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken,
it's
there's a lot of people in Europe believe it's not a disease. It's just behavioral. Fucking stop. Grow up. Stop. Blah, blah, blah.
yeah, it's not always that easy. You need help. Very
Yeah.
often you need help, and there's
I think
places to
it's
go to
great
get
to
help.
go. I think it's great to go get help. Of course, you need help. But you know what I'm saying. It's not an excuse. It's a disease, and I got nothing to do with it.
No, I don't agree with that. If you have a disease, you got to take care of it. Cancer's
Yeah.
not going to go away on its own. You got to treat it, right?
Many a person have been fucked up, and they've come back and straightened their life out.
Sure, of course. Without a doubt.
Tony,
Tony, Christopher brings up that, I'm sorry, T, you've been good to me. The cop who shot my father, I'll never forget it. That somehow was this big deal for Christopher.
Yeah.
And that Tony turned him on to this guy who killed his father. I don't know. He says, you're going to go to rehab. You're going to Pennsylvania. Patsy's going to be a half mile away. You understand what I'm saying? Basically, he's saying if you leave, Patsy's going to shoot you.
Going to kill
He's
you.
basically threatening.
He's there. Do you understand me? He grabs him by the face. How did it get to this? Which I assume, unfortunately, a lot of people must say that. How did it fucking get to this? How did it go so far?
Well, because you start whatever, you're partying, maybe you do a little of this or that when you're out and having fun. And then, a year or 2 years later, you're a stone cold junkie,
Yeah.
beating your wife and stealing and robbing and ruining your life. And it's like, you didn't intend to go that way. You didn't intend for that to, you didn't say,
of
I want to be a
course.
junkie,
But it affects so many people. It's
So
not
many
just
people,
you and
yeah.
your wife, you and your life, Junior's house, Svetlana's drinking vodka. She
Now, do you
grabs a
think
bottle.
Tony knew it was nap time for Junior and
Sure.
got there around that time
Sure.
on purpose, right?
Yeah, he
He
probably
brings
had to go see him.
pastries. Yeah, she's taking out the vodka. She did you notice what she does before she takes a shot? She breathes out like a big exhale. Did you notice that?
No.
She breathes out before she takes a shot. She goes, then she does the shot, and it was very specific. So I looked it up because I never saw that before. And Russians do that they say it's a way to minimize hangovers.
Really?
They also like to drink shots of vodka. They prefer vodka, chilled,
Cold,
put in the
yeah.
freezer, but not in little glasses, in kind of big glasses, because drinking from small glass too often will get you drunk too quickly. That's what they believe was. But that heavy exhale before she takes a shot, that's a traditional thing that supposedly helps with hangovers. I don't know how true that is.
But do you know what you're talking about with the shots? When we were younger, when I was a teenager, drinking age was 18, we used to do a thing every minute. You buy a quart of beer, right? So if you drink a quart of beer, you're taking sips, we used to play a game. Every minute you take a shot of beer.
Every minute?
Every
Oh,
minute a
beer.
shot of beer. And you say, no big fucking deal. What? You won't finish that quart of beer. You'll be fucking hammered because you don't boom.
Yeah, sure.
And then all of a sudden, at the beginning, it's no big deal. And then it comes around really quick, that minute. And you're just doing shots of beer. Yeah. Get you fucking,
and that catches up.
It gets you drunk. So there's my tip for the day, folks. If you want to get drunk faster, save a few bucks, do shots of beer.
There you go. Did you notice, I love that shot when he sees the prosthetic leg on the other side of the room, and she notices him looking, and she goes, I wasn't expecting visitors. It's
doesn't
cool
bother him
moment.
none. Yeah, it doesn't bother him none. He talks to her. She gives her philosophies on life. The whole purpose for people like me to inspire people like you. That's the trouble with you Americans. You expect nothing bad to ever happen when the rest of the world expects only bad to happen, and they're not disappointed.
I've heard that too. I've heard that from people, from other countries who come from, where life is, a lot harder than a lot of us have here. Not all of us, some of us have it very hard here, but I've heard that, So we expect things to be great all the time, and then when bad things happen, we're kind of shocked. But a lot of people in the world and a lot of people here just expect the worst.
I expect the worst.
Yeah, you're a half empty.
Yeah, I'm a half
right?
empty glass guy. Yeah. I'm a doomsday guy. I'm sorry. I wish I could stop. I wish I could get out of it. I need to talk to BetterHelp, one of our sponsors. I
Yeah.
need to talk to them. Maybe I won't be such a
Yeah.
doomsday guy. He tells her he
Yeah.
looks like, look at you with the smoke all around you. He's got the light behind her. You look beautiful. You look like Greta Garbo. A real
She
throwback.
looks nothing like Greta Garbo.
But a
She
real,
looks nothing like her.
why Greta Garbo? That's a
don't know.
real way back. I mean, Tony's in his 30s here, 40 years old.
And she does not look like Greta Garbo. I mean, she's attractive, but she's not. I don't know. He's seducing her, I guess. That's his,
We're in
his
the
thing. I
rehab.
love when she says, you have everything and you still complain. You lie on couches and bitch to your psychiatrist, which is exactly what he does.
Exactly.
He does it in this episode.
But
It's pretty funny.
she gives him the signal. You're big, strong, and full of mischief. She's giving him the green light there. She's
She likes
showing
him,
that
and
she
he
likes
likes
him.
her.
She's attractive.
But then,
Rehab
it's
center.
great. But what's really great is, that she's not, she's not desperate. You know what I mean? She's
No. Well,
Yeah.
she's got a boyfriend. They're supposed to get married. She's okay.
She's not looking at this like it's an opportunity, is what I'm saying.
No,
he's
not
got
in
money,
the
he's
least bit.
powerful, he can get connections, but she has no.
She's not doing this
No.
to move ahead. Rehab center. Christopher, Adriana, and Patsy arrive. You call me later. No phone calls. You got the lady. She's reading A Course in Miracles. The receptionist. She likes to chime in.
That's 1976, written by Helen Schuckman, which she says it was an inner dictation from Christ himself that she wrote the book through some. Christ was channeling it, or she channeled Christ through whatever. Somehow.
No
I've
phone
never
call.
read it. Have you read it? A Course in Miracles? That
No.
sounds like something you would read. No?
Course in Miracles.
That sounds right up your alley.
I need a fucking miracle. No phone calls for 2 weeks. Chris, all right. I'm going to keep a journal anyway. I'm going to write a memoir under my pen name. He's talking out of his ass.
He said that, when she tells him later on about the Fed, that she's in with the feds, they entertain the idea of going into witness protection. He goes, maybe I could finally publish my he published my memoirs.
Yeah.
He's really got the memoir thing.
Brad, the main guy comes over. He says, "Congratulations."
Which
Brad,
Christopher's a little confused by.
Yeah.
He says, congratulations. Christopher's like, well, congratulations for what?
It's the hardest part. The hardest part, getting here, which I guess it is the hardest part, to admit you have a problem and to go into rehab.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Junior's house, Tony and Svetlana are on the couch.
But, they search his bag and say you can't have chocolate or caffeine, which
That's
don't know
not true.
how accurate that is.
Well, this is also a long time ago. Maybe things have changed.
I don't know. You're going into rehab. I mean, caffeine and chocolate's the last thing. And in AA, people drink coffee like crazy and smoke cigarettes. It's like you're there for drugs or alcohol. You're not there because of caffeine.
Well, maybe they consider caffeine a drug. Mormons do.
Yeah, but what? You're not gonna go, robbing your wife's pocketbook to go buy a cup of coffee, are you?
I don't think so. I don't know. Let's look into that. Is that true? No caffeine. Maybe this is a strict one.
It depends where you're going, but I would imagine most rehab places don't have a problem with caffeine or chocolate.
Tony Svetlana on the couch after sex. I'll be busy. Now, Tony gives the, I'll be busy for a few days. He's like kind of giving a half blow
He's
off.
brushing
Yeah.
her off. Yeah.
But I'll see when I can. I'll see you. She said, I don't think it's a good idea. Maybe I call you, but I don't think so. I don't want all the time to prop you up. So he's flabbergasted when she says this. Did you not like it? You fucking kidding me? And she said, no, I like it very much to prop you up. She doesn't have the time. She's got her own problems to keep telling him how great he is. That's what he wants. You know, he's self-centered and he's flabbergasted.
Calls him, and she's right. She's like that. You need somebody who's going to be, you don't need me. He's blown away.
She rejects him. Branca arrives. What are you doing?
She knows exactly what just happened.
Furio's house. He's thinking, sitting on the couch, listening to music.
That's the Infinite Desire by Al Di Meola. The album is the same name, 1998. Steve Vai plays on that album. So does Herbie Hancock. Very romantic song. I miss you, my love. Tell me where you will go. Obviously, we know what he's thinking about. But the contrast between him and Tony, he's listening to this nice music on a great stereo system. Then he starts cooking like a pro. He knows how to make the pot. He's making aglio olio, looks like, and he knows he's tossing the pasta. Tony gets it from the refrigerator, puts it in the microwave, eats it in the same bowl.
I didn't get the Tony eating. Fiora's got a nice glass of wine. Tony's drinking milk with red sauce.
I think that was they're really just kind of heightening the contrast between the two of them. The romanticism. It's almost like you're seeing Carmela's point of view of the two guys, the difference.
Yeah.
In her mind. Furio's is very romantic, cultured, European guy, and Tony's kind of like a Gavone, who has no romance. Yeah, I guess it's just, drawing that contrast between the two guys and, from Carmela's point of view.
Paulie's house. Paulie hangs the new painting. He looks at it. Tony's dressed in kind of like Napoleon. Cut to Tony's eyes. Paulie's watching the Yankee game.
Jason Jambi hits a home run against Boston at Yankee Stadium. Paulie's loves Napoleon, and then you hear the military march music, I guess, drawn, taking home the idea of the strong, silent type, the soldier, the
and Tony Sirico likes the Yankees in real life. He's a baseball fan. He's not a basketball fan. He likes football. He likes horse racing, and he likes baseball.
Yeah, big Yankee fan.
Now it's a great episode.
Really good episode.
I really enjoyed it.
I love it. Yeah.
Great performances. It was really good stuff. Really good, funny. Really, really good episode. Now it's time for the Talking Sopranos Ask Me Anything segment. The winner of our AMA Best Question is Gigi from Redlands, California. And we're sending Gigi a pair of Bose headphones. Gigi asks,
Christopher died by Tony's hand, his boss, mentor, surrogate father. And Bobby Bacala shot at the train hobby store. I know I was shocked when both of these characters were killed, but that's what was great about the show. How did you feel at the end of the series when your characters were killed? Did you think the arc of your character was satisfactory? Me, I think it was satisfactory. I knew at least a year before from David, and he told me what was going to happen, and I thought it was a great idea. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it makes it very poignant. I think it makes the stakes very high. I think it it happened near the end of the whole series, and it was an important thing to reveal about Tony's character, an important thing to see where he's evolved to as a character. I thought it was great. I was very happy with it, and I think it really worked very well for the story. What about you?
Well, listen, I like the way Bobby Bacala evolved. I mean, at first he was this overly fat guy. Not that he got much skinnier, but a little bit. Not very smart, but as the time went on, he kind of rose to the occasion. He married Janice.
He got more confident, didn't he?
Maybe not that. Maybe he wasn't as stupid as everyone thought. He married the boss's sister, and Janice, as crazy as she is, helped him raise the kids.
He's a good dad,
He was a great dad.
good husband.
He was at the, sitting to the right of the boss. Suddenly, by the end of the series, he's one of the top guys with Silvio and Paulie. I found out that I was going to get killed about a month before we shot it. Maybe, I guess about a month. Maybe a little less than that. We wore that as a badge of honor. How you got killed. I thought the train store was an incredible scene.
Great.
I thought that was a really good kill. And
Memorable.
The only other thing I always thought maybe Janice would have Tony killed and kind of try to take over the family.
I'm sure I wouldn't put it past her.
Crazy.
I wouldn't put anything past Janice.
So who knows with Janice now? What did we say? Not married to Paulie. Who do we think she was married to now that Bobby died? Who was her next?
Did we say Artie Bucco? No.
No, Artie got back together. I don't know what we said then. Who would she be married to?
Little Paulie?
Maybe. Maybe somebody like that. And she's got the big house. She's got the big house. She's got to raise her daughter.
Okay, yeah.
She did all right. She wasn't going to let the girl Sophia go, but Bobby Jr. wanted to go live somewhere else. He didn't want to be with Janice.
She was a splitter.
Yeah. Let's see.
Like Livia.
I wonder who she wound up with. Who knows? I wonder if she's in the prequel. Is there a young Janice? We
Probably.
don't know that.
I would imagine it. There's a young Livia, young Johnny Soprano, young Tony. There's got to be a young Janice, no?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you, Gigi from Redlands, California. Thanks for listening. Remember, new episodes are released every Monday. Please subscribe to the Talking Sopranos podcast on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and like us on Facebook. Listen, right now you can get official Talking Sopranos merchandise on TalkingSopranos.com or through our YouTube channel.
Our executive producers, Jeff Sussman, producers Andy Verderam. Our music was composed and performed by Elijah Amerton. You can hear more of Elijah's music in the band Zopa, which Elijah and I play in together, by clicking the links on TalkingSopranos.com. Our production crew includes Ty Verderam and Ciara Schirripa. We record Talking Sopranos at NYC Podcasting. Great studios, great prices, great people. It is the premier podcast studio in New York City. So go to nycpodcasting.com. Whether you're a brand new podcast or looking to upgrade your show, they can take care of everything at NewYorkCityPodcasting.com. Talking Sopranos is a Pod Jazz production.
If NYC Podcasting could help us, they could certainly help you.
Right, if they can handle this, they can handle anything.
Good talking to you, man. I'll see you next week.